straight away. Diving comes early. Equally, really good touch just before the line. So early start, of course, this morning. 8 o'clock here in Nottingham. And it's a relatively chilly morning. Blue skies, though, overhead. Set for a fair day here in Nottingham. So, of course, I'll have a couple of pool games for you up until 10:30, where we'll have the men's 30s semi-final. And then we'll move on to our finals after that. So at the moment, West Wildcats still leading by that one solitary try. So a reminder, of course, this weekend is a huge weekend for all these players if they want to have a chance of potentially getting in those high-performance training camps for the England sides. Showcase their skill sets to all the coaches who will be watching on. But of course, as we spoke to a lot of players yesterday and at the Juniors and Opens in Cambridge on that August bank holiday weekend, also looking to try and win for their region. Bit of regional pride at stake, and the bragging rights, of course. The West Wildcats have made a bright start this morning. They've attacked well from the off and defended compactly as well. As they just run a quick sub move, get some fresh legs on, and driving over towards that far side. What a fantastic run this is. Jean Delace, the number 11 for the West Wildcats, making that run and driving his team up the field. Space opening up as the half needs to find the support. Doesn't get the support, and the final touch. Ian Rowberry making the run into the goal area. Looking to find a teammate. Found it, but the touch came in. Towards halfway for the Sharks. This is a bit better. Good momentum and flow to this move. Walton there now in the white cap. Turnover again. Wildcats really defending well at the moment. Getting up towards halfway, the Wildcats made the better of the start out of the two sides. And a lovely run through the middle. He is caught, though. It was Brian Preble there, just making that darting run. So 5 minutes gone here in our opening game of day 2 here in Nottingham. I'm delighted to say, joining me this morning, I have Chris Wearmouth with me. Chris, well, we had a good day yesterday and early start, but both sides look to be up for the fight this morning.
It's definitely coffee o'clock right now, Brad. In fair play to all of the players this morning, I think it's especially those of us who are in our, dare I say, going through an early midlife crisis, will appreciate how hard it is to get the muscles going at this time on a Sunday morning, especially on the back of a couple of games yesterday, and it was pretty unseasonably warm, and and for both of these two teams, just such a shame there that one's gone to ground for the Sharks. For these two, it's so tight in this competition in the men's 45s. Wildcats drew yesterday with Midlands Tigers and beat the North East Raiders, whereas the Sharks, again, they were 1-1 and drawn 1. They beat the Raiders and drew with the Northwest Blades. So there's absolutely everything to play for in a three-way tie at the top of the table. The other team there being Northwest Blades, again 1-1 and drawn 1, as the players go for the title later on today.
Yeah, we will be bringing you that final later on this afternoon as the Sharks looking to respond. And what a great run that was, just darting through, splitting that middle pairing apart.
It's all about momentum on this, and you see it's something that we've spoken an awful lot about over the past few months is the momentum and then hitting the line at pace, and that was created by two things there: the quick play the ball, and then there was a great line being cut from Mark Elliott there, just coming from his sub-box at pace and then straight into the line, and then the Wildcats defenders just weren't able to get back the 5, and as a result, over for the score to tie things up. Nice bit of play.
So the Sharks have soaked up a bit of the pressure early on in this first half, and they've managed themselves to get back to all square thanks to Mark Elliott. And here they come again inside their own half, getting up towards their own subs box, and new faces coming on. It'll be important to keep the rotation throughout the games, throughout the day, keep it fresh.
Yeah, the temptation this early in the morning, especially when it's a little bit nippy in the air, is to try and stay on, to stay warm. But actually, as you say, as the day goes on, all of these teams have got 3 games today going forward, and then it's going to be, as the day goes on, managing yourself this early is going to be really crucial later to make sure you've still got some miles to go on the clock, and that you're not seizing up later on in the day.
Still one apiece then. Wildcats with their chance to try and break up to the other end of the field. Lee Thompson, number 32. Ian Rowberry now. Just a bit stop and start. Not much momentum though. There's Rowberry laying it off to the right, and a nice little darting pass to the left and trying to whip it out to this near-hand side, and there was space to run into as well, but they're going to get a fresh set on the 5 metre.
Yeah, this is the first time watching touch. There's no deliberate slapdowns. It's just a restart with a roll ball, but there was a good bit of defending there. There was nothing else the defender could do there. It's a thing where, don't go for the interception, just allow the rest of the defence time to restructure themselves and play again, and back yourself to hold out the Wildcats on your own line.
Oh, and a dive for the line, space just opening up, and it was the number 32, Lee Thompson. Let's have another look at this in the replay.
What's happened there is that Lee's stretched the defence, and then by coming back inside, as he's then created an overlap, and you can see that the Wildcats defender, number 12, Philip Walton there, is caught in 2 minds in terms of who he can and can't go for, and that way, that's a score that you don't really want to concede in the middle. You want to keep things tight. You want to to shut down the plays as much as you can, and the Sharks would be very disappointed to concede that, because but it was nice, neat play, just very, very subtly done.
And there we go. Well, instant response there for the South East Sharks. And it looked like they just sucked in those middle players, and then the space just opening up. Yeah,
that's a defensive breakdown this time out in the wing, is that there was good man-on-man marking in the middle there from the Wildcats on the link, and in that situation, the wing should be alive to the danger that's outside him, and just what he did is he got caught in 2 minds, because he could see the half coming across who couldn't score, which is obviously why he passed it, but he got sucked in by the play instead of playing the heads up, being aware of where the danger was, and then going and man marking the winger. So a little bit, again, it's one of those ones where defensively is that you don't necessarily mind conceding on the width, provided that there's been good play to create it. Whereas that, I think, as I say, is another bit of a defensive breakdown. So, it's good score, good games though. It's a very competitive division. On top of the, as well as these two teams, just having a quick look at the table. South, so you've got Wildcats and Sharks both on 6 points after yesterday, and Northwest Blades as well, I've mentioned. Northeast Raiders are only a point behind, and the Tigers are only a point behind them. So going into today's games, there is quite literally everything to play for, and all of these players as well. It's a reasonably small circuit at this age group, and a lot of them would have trained together over the winter before the trip to Malaysia, and that's a lovely bit of play there by the Wildcats, just creating a simple 3-on-2 overlap and a nice, and then that's just. You can just see all of a sudden, again, it's the running coming from deep from James Barnett. In the same way that we saw with the Sharks score earlier on, it was the late run that made the most of that, is that all of a sudden you had a 3-on-2, which very quickly became a 4-on-2. And as the defence, what can you do? You've got, you're flooded with players, and then it's the player who comes late onto the run that scores it.
Yeah, Ian Roberry and James Barnett just linking up to go over the line once again, and what a start to this morning.
Yeah, there is a lot to play for all of these teams. You mentioned earlier on, the selection for the high performance squads will come off the back of this weekend, and that's ahead of next year's European Championships, which are just up the road here at the other University of Nottingham Sports Centre, which is towards the centre of the city. And the men's 45s got to the final last year, only to be beaten by Ireland, and so everybody here is going to have a point to prove against in that competition later, in about 10 months' time, the end of July next year.
It'll come round quickly, that's for sure. And at the moment, focus is on this one. The Wildcats just creeping in front, but very nip and tuck this morning. Both sides with good energy levels for this time in the morning. And the Sharks looking to try and get down that left-hand side again, and of course get some new faces on again.
It's been good to see from the Sharks. It's one of the characteristics of the Southeast teams, is they take very much one of the players from the CSSE club in terms of driving through the sub-box to get fresh players on, and that then keeps the momentum on. And once you get onto that, we're just having a quick chat to see if that's going to be scored. No, that was a touch there on Keith Dunleavy.
Yeah, Ryan England now and Keith Dunleavy just linking up here. Is Dunleavy again looking to go left as England tries to almost just parry out to his partner on the wing, but frantically and persistently closed down by the Wildcats. Good pressure early on by Keith Dunleavy, but the Wildcats some space to run into now. Slowing things down a tad. Just running into a bit of traffic, and that was sloppy play inside their own half on the 10-metre line.
Yeah, and then they've done. I think for me that's a little bit of a harsh penalty. I think what happened is that the ball got flipped away, and then nobody touched it. It just happened to roll away. But referee Will Lupton is by far and away the youngest person on the field. He's still a teenager, but a qualified referee nonetheless from the Nottingham club, and he's very decisive in penalising the Wildcats. I mean, I did think, as I say, it was a little bit harsh, but and the Sharks have they made them pay? Yes, they have, and a good score in the corner. But the important thing from there is the decisiveness from the referee, and then also from the Sharks here is that he just attacked the outside shoulder. Yeah, it's good. There's good little bit of interplay, not a massive amount of space there from Ben Bernardo and Keith Dunleavy, as they've attacked the outside shoulder of the winger, who's the last player, and then once the defender, it doesn't matter in the position, it happens to be the winger this time, the defender starts going back in a line, he then can't deviate, so he's gone back in a straight line almost at 90 degrees to the goal line, as opposed to going at a bit more of an angle, and that's been created because of where that touch was made on the outside. Now all of a sudden they've created themselves that extra 2 metres on the, and all of a sudden as soon as a defender's running back in one straight line, that 2 metres may as well be a mile.
So 3 apiece then, and 2 for Ben Bernardo this morning. He's started day 2 here in Nottingham in fine form as the West Wildcats looking to try and respond straight away, and that's really lovely passing, quick and incisive, and what a response from the Wildcats, and they lead now again by 4 points to 3. It was so quick. And just having another look at this again, Lee Thompson in the heart of it, and finished off in the corner.
Yeah, the wingers held his hand up there as well. Yes, there's an element of having 2 players coming into the one, so good. But that's created by a good straight running line from the link, and then Dave Embry's just hugged his touch line and made the most of the space. But that's the kind of play that you always want to see at any kind of rugby, whether it's Union League, touch. You draw the player and then know when to give the offload and when to give the pass. Unselfish.
So Sharks again looking to try and respond and get back to parity before the break. Still time though. Reminder, these are 20-minute halves, and they look like they have they? No, touch comes in. Again, Philip Walton there. The number 12, Spencer Nye is there also. He's linking it with Martin Reynard as well. Here's Bernardo again, and looking to get that dive in early. Almost goes down in instalments, but it will be the turnover.
You can see what the Sharks are trying to do here. As I say, they're trying to get onto the outside shoulder of the winger and to force the winger to try and defend. And then it's good, aggressive defence here from the Sharks. It's Wildcats trying to get some momentum. Third touch, they haven't even crossed the halfway line. But all of a sudden now the Wildcats have got into the middle, and now they're getting that good momentum there. Ray McFarlane at the heart of it, just getting on, nice scoop there. And then just a pity that broke down. But those are going to be the keys in the second half, in terms is who can get onto the front foot, who can get the defence scrambling. And we've seen a lot of those scores have come as soon as the team's been able to build up that momentum and kept their skill level going.
So 90 seconds on our clock until the half-time interval, and only the Wildcats with that slender advantage. And the Sharks looking to try and restore it to all square before the break. Getting towards the 10-metre. Keith Dunleavy now in the middle. He lays it off. He gets it back now. Driving through. Nice little layoff. Potentially some space opening on the right-hand side. Keith Dunleavy tries to go himself, but it will be turned over. A minute to go.
Yeah, what we're seeing as well is that it's when you watch an opens game, when you've got a few younger players, is that you see quite a few more Mexican standoffs. You see a bit more set-piece play in and around the 5-metre line. It's just one of those things. It's just the older you get, and you have some fewer fast twitch fibres, and it's just naturally you're less explosive. So we're seeing already is that the longer range attacks are the things that are working. It's just seen there. It's it's the pace coming from deep. It's the manipulating the overlap. It's the it's the stuff that requires a wee bit more planning from further out, as opposed to, as I say, that stuff which requires the explosiveness from a standing start.
So just approaching the half-time interval then, of course, if you're joining us for the first time watching touch rugby, you'll hear that hooter, and it does go off, and that signals the end of the first 20 minutes here in Nottingham for day 2 of the 2019 Touch Nationals Seniors and Masters, and it is the West Wildcats that lead by 4 points to 3 going into the break.
The boys are playing incredibly well. better than I've ever seen them play. We haven't used the full extent of our playbook, predominantly due to the weather conditions, but it's a slight shame. But they're doing their basics incredibly well, getting us down the park and getting us into a scoring situation almost every driving set. The thing for me is really the team cohesion. That winning these games, winning gold was never the goal for these boys. My goal for them was to get as many of the age-appropriate lads into the men's open training squad for 2020. And it's just fantastic to watch some of them really click, really start to play to their full potential. And I'm going to work very hard with the men's open coaches to make sure the boys that are of an appropriate age get a shot at the opens level.
It's been tough, but the result is exactly what we wanted. I'm incredibly proud. It was a really good campaign, and we've been very blessed with a very good cohesive team that has all worked together incredibly well, but couldn't have done anything without the assistant coaches of Keish and Catherine and Matt managing, and all the background help from the high performance team and Pippa. 13 debutants is probably a record for any junior touch team. I think I lost quite a few of the kids from last year, went up into 18s, managed to hang on to 3. The team just gelled straight away. We got working with lots of teamwork, and they just did brilliantly.
Bronze first year, and then we've had silver last year, and then we've done it. Finally got the gold. So I could not be more proud of such an amazing group and so much youth and talent in that team. We've got 3 14-year-olds winning mixed 18s. It's incredible. Like, the future for England Touch is, it starts here, and it's looking really, really bright.
Business as usual, I must say. I'm quoting Semi Phillips, High Performance, who has just said that, we've been professional throughout the whole tournament. They have so much self-belief, and they absolutely love working for their team and putting on that England jersey.
Couldn't be happier. This has been a sensational weekend for England Touch. 4 gold medals. I think we've never achieved that before at JTC, and we're ecstatic. It shows that our high performance programme is working, and the athletes we're starting to create are fantastic, and we're so proud of them. Absolutely incredible to be unbeaten at championships in every division. So hats off to our coaching team and to the athletes themselves for producing such an outstanding result.
Officials, 30-second warning, 30 seconds. Wildcats officials, stand by.
Well, back underway then here in Nottingham, the 2019 Touch Nationals Seniors and Masters. Wildcats going into the break with that slight advantage, leading by 4 points to 3, and the Sharks have the tap off. So apologies just there for the brief loss of pictures. The Sharks still with the momentum. Bernardo trying to go in again and looking for his third of the morning, but touch just comes in before the line. Good early pressure this from the Sharks. Keefton Levy straight upon his man on their own 5-metre line. That's the second touch down. Third touch. Fourth, and they haven't even reached halfway here. Great defensive pressure, but a fantastic run there for Ian Rowberry trying to get through. It was Lee Thompson. I apologise there for the Wildcats. Number 32 trying to get up towards the 10-metre. So a chance here now for the Wildcats. Wildcats looking to try and push ahead, trying to find that 2-point advantage again. Lee Thompson, frustration though for the Wildcats. Lee Thompson wasn't happy. Referee's just having a quick word. But they're still going to have the opportunity on the 5-metre here.
Yeah, so picking up from what I was saying in the first half, Brad, is that, this is the thing where I don't think, that you need to be, what we see at opens levels, there's a lot of explosive play. In that situation, this is going to be given as a score, although I think, you can see the Sharks are querying whether there's been a touch in there or not. At an open level, you see that be really explosive and driving through to the end of the dead ball line and then trying to find the support around it. This wasn't quite so much, and I didn't think that we were going to see a massive number of scores. So fair play to the Wildcats for turning that situation into a score. But I think it's a bit of an outlier. Like I said in the first half, I think the scores we're going to see are going to be longer range, the ones where the defences are scrambling and then you can just attack at pace.
Well, Sharks now looking to try and get back to only that 1-point deficit, and the diving comes early again. They've seen it a couple of times yesterday. We've seen it early on. Adrian Riggs, that was for the Sharks, trying to get down low, avoid the touch, but it does come in. Riggs again, just laying it off and finding Spencer Nye. Here is Spencer Nye again. Riggs is to his left. Here is Riggs. Two there around him, but it looks like it's going to be the score.
The two good things from this is that even though the referees are young, they're being very decisive and they're communicating really, really well. What's happened there is that the call's been made on the touch, but Will Lupton's been very clear to say that the ball was down, and also so that the players in the mids and the link were offside. They didn't make it back to the goal line. And that's created the score there for the Sharks through the middle, or through that. So it's nice play all round from the Sharks in terms of the attacking. The Wildcats for trying to get back, but not quite, and then also recognising that and then accepting the decision of the referee. As the Wildcats come, and this is turning into a proper shootout now between these two teams. Wildcats attacking now 10 metres out and putting the Sharks out. It's a good defence from the Sharks with the one player shooting up, but a lovely finish, it looks like, coming through. And I've spoken before about the pace needing to come through. And Ray McFarlane, that time, has just come straight through the middle, round the defender and then diving through. So it's a lovely finish from the Wildcats man. So they've attacked from, they get to the 10-metre line. And then, as I say, push some pace through it. And so what can the Sharks do now? As I said before, it's turning into a proper shootout now.
It is, one end of the pitch to the other. You score, we score at the moment. 5-4 at the moment for the Wildcats. Being put under no pressure at the moment, but again, this South East Sharks defence really trying to put the pressure on early inside the Wildcats half, towards halfway.
Yeah, so again, it's the Wildcats now who are starting to attack from deeper. 10 metres out, that broke down there. But, we are seeing them, as I say, look to try and stretch the Sharks. Well, not stretch the Sharks, it's more about compressing them and forcing the defensive line to get a bit scrambled. And the score's 6-4. And we'll update that for you shortly. But for the Sharks there, they had made some good meters. But as far as the Wildcats were concerned, they've defended that very, very well. So it's the harder thing when, as I say, the older you get, that you've got to start anticipating more in terms of reading what's going to be happening as far as the game's concerned. And Sharks, I don't know quite what the chat there's for from the Sharks. 12, Philip Walton, but they've got the play anyway. I think he thought maybe there was a bit of blockage there to stop him intercepting it, but it was a good.
So just a bit paused at the moment, just trying to work out the best route through. Need the next score. 2-point deficit on the board at the moment.
So you can see what the Sharks are trying to do. They're trying to pull. So what they're trying to do here is they're trying to pull the Wildcats defender up and then trying to attack them, the same player again, for them to be offside. Now they've got a penalty there for a heavy touch. And good play there from Philip Walton. Very good awareness to realise that the touch isn't going to be made. He looks like he was shaping for the touch, realised it's not going to be made, so keeps the ball in hand. Nice defence from Dave Embry coming in from the Wildcats winger. But what they're trying to, so they're trying to attack the same channel time and again, and then create that space in and behind.
Adrian Riggs now just in a bit of a standoff on the 5 metre.
And then that's a penalty conceded by the Sharks for overstepping the mark. You've got to play the ball from where you get touched. So the Wildcats have escaped there. They've conceded a couple of penalties on their own line. They've defended well, and now they're getting some good momentum going forward. It's, so from that situation, I mean, obviously they've done, and they've got another one as well in terms of with the penalty. So that's a bit of a sloppy penalty for the Sharks to concede. They've done very well in terms of slowing down that Wildcats momentum, but now this is the best part of a tap-off. You're going to have 6 touches in the opposition half and a great opportunity for the Wildcats to extend their lead.
Absolutely, with 10 minutes to go until full time. Maybe another point now could potentially almost seal the victory. They've really started the second half well, and they've trying to build on that again, looking to try and drive through the middle, maybe just opening up now on this right-hand side. And it's going to be given, it certainly is. 7-4 now to the Wildcats, and what a second half they are having.
Yeah, so what's happened here is that it's not bad defending. That the defence has done exactly what they need to do in terms of the man-on-man and the mirrors aspect of things, but just that lovely pass from the middle out to the winger to extend the lead, and a good bit of skill there as well. You can see the defending winger coming across at pace And, so to get that ball under pressure, especially this early on a Sunday morning. And again, Sharks, that's the second time they've conceded a penalty for overstepping the mark. And Wildcats now, I think, even with 8.5 minutes on, I think Wildcats will see this one out for their second win of the weekend.
Yeah, really good momentum again in this drive, going through the middle. Can he be stopped? He will be, but that was a fantastic, forceful, purposeful drive through the middle.
Ray McFarlane.
What a move that was through the middle, just weaving in and out, and he's really got his team up at the other end of the field.
But that's what I was talking in terms of the scrambling defence. You get in behind, then all of a sudden, you've then got the opportunity to, at the very least, you're making good meters and you're playing at the right end of the field. And even though that one broke down, that's where they want to kill it. And they've just done that through some straightforward, no-nonsense, through-the-middle driving there. And if you do that at pace, and it's true at any level, but especially at this level, as I said before, it's your lack of fast twitch fibres, the early morning on the Sunday, defences will start having to scramble.
So the Sharks now really needing to try and respond. Here is Keith Dunleavy, space opens up, he's the half, and needs the support, gets the support, but the touch is there. Great defensive work from the Wildcats. I think that's been the impressive thing in this second 20 so far, is just as good as they have been going forward, they've been really solid at the back so far.
Yeah, so Keith Dunleavy did everything. I mean, that was excellent execution of the play all round there. So Keith Dunleavy's driven through. He's gone exactly where he needed to be, deep into the goal area and almost to the dead ball line. And Ray McFarlane there has just looked up and gone, you know what, he can't score, I'm just going to leave him. Right, where's the defence going to be coming from? He's played some good heads-up touch. He's spotted that the runner's coming from deep. It's going to dive, and there he is. Right, I'm going to make the touch just there. And so really good play all round, actually attacking and defensive wise.
So just starting again, just on the edge of their own 10 metre in the Sharks. Just slowing things down a tad, although they need to obviously get this next try if they're going to get back into this. Bernardo and Dunleavy linking up again. Looking for another one, Bernardo. He's been there live wire in this Sharks side this morning. This is really nice play from the Sharks, looking to go for the corner. Oh, but sold the dummy and goes in himself.
And then Philip Walton's been touched on the way through. But there's a penalty been conceded there in the Wildcats for offside, I think. But yeah, it was lovely attacking play. Again, just running from deep, get some good momentum. Just in terms of the age of the referees, I was just having a quick look around. It's really good to see a lot of young referees here this weekend. It's good experience for them to be refereeing players who are older than them, and great experience both in terms of refereeing at this level and also just in terms of their all-round understanding of the game. We'd always, at England Touch, we always recommend that as our players become officials, because it then, it gives them a greater all-round understanding. And like I said before, is that, to see so many, guys in their late teens and early 20s be here with the yellow shirts on as opposed to playing shirts is fantastic.
Yeah, it was something that was brought up yesterday, and of course we had, if you're following us in Cambridge, we had Dan Harrison who was with us, who had a chat about promoting referees. But at the moment it's the Sharks who really need to get going as time is ticking.
Yeah, what they're trying to do in this situation, they're trying to condition the Wildcats into what to expect, and then they're going to consider, and that's worked out really, really well for them. Because Dave Embry didn't need to play at that. He could have just shut down the winger and made the touch for the turnover. That was the 5th touch. But instead he's played at the ball, and Sharks now have got a fresh set of 6 in the danger zone. But what they're trying to do now is they're just trying to pull the Wildcats in one direction. All of a sudden you can see, there's all in that space of that 15 metres or so, you've got 5 attackers, and then there's going to be 5 defenders opposite them. Now that gives a massive amount of space for the attackers to exploit on the left-hand side, the bit that's out of the shot. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a wrapping move come in. But then on the other hand, they may just continue to attack. You know, it's one of those beautiful things about touch is you never know quite what's going to come.
And looking to try and go through the middle, and then a flinged pass out to his right-hand side, but just weren't on the same wavelength there. And turnover again. And after actually a good spell of possession for the Sharks, it has fallen to nothing, and they can't be wasting too many more opportunities like that with the clock ticking down towards full time. Here is the Wildcats again, looking to move on towards halfway. They're in no real hurry though, almost being pushed back from their own accord up towards halfway. This is a bit better, driving through the middle, as we've seen a couple of times from the Wildcats this morning, putting the pressure on the Sharks, but already the 6th touch and turnover now.
I think if Wildcats can hold this set of 6 out, that's it, done and dusted as far as a win's concerned. And even a draw, because, you know, with 2.5 minutes to play, you need the Sharks to score right now. And I think that's... I was going to say, I don't know if that was an injury, but that's definitely a penalty for delaying, for going through the ruck.
Wasn't too short. Darren Rowe was trying to signal there for the Wildcats, but...
That's one of those ones where, you know, at the bottom of a ruck in rugby union, yes, you know, the player can't get away. There's no excuse for that. You know, you can see what he's trying to do. But, you know, he definitely rolled in the wrong direction over the ball as opposed to away from the ball. But I think that's now, with 2 minutes to play on our unofficial clock, you know, I think that's definitely it now for the Wildcats, and they can just do with a good bit of game management. You know, they're just getting the fresh legs on. I don't think there's really any need to come into the middle. You know, you can just slow everything down to your own pace and just play out a couple more sets of 6, and that's it for the win.
Yeah, using all their experience now just to bring the clock down. And even though it looks like the win is in the bag, they're still trying to push forward, looking to try and get that 8th point on the board, but it's not going to be this time for the Wildcats.
Well, yeah, because at the end of the day, is that given how tight these pools are, is that points difference is going to come, I think, is going to come into it massively.
Of course, we'll try and keep you up to date throughout the day. We will be bringing you all those finals later on in the afternoon. So do stick with us for the rest of the day. Early pressure from the Sharks, although no real hurry from the Wildcats to really get things moving. But now they're looking to try and maybe force an opening. Are they just going to try and get the Sharks napping? Patient build-up from the Wildcats. 30 seconds left on our clock. Here is Lee Thompson. Ian Rowberry's also there, and the dive comes in. Derek Kites trying to get over the line on that occasion. There goes the hooter for full time. And it is a win for the Wildcats this morning over the South East Sharks. It was close at half-time, but the Wildcats really came out of the blocks firing in that opening 10 minutes of the second and have pushed on for the victory. So next up this morning, we'll move on to the women's 27s now. And it will be the Midlands Tigers taking on the Southwest Saxons. That will be coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
So that's the Northwest Blades.
got into touch because my eldest son, Clark Hobson, he was really into it, raved about it, and he achieved England standard. I thought, well, I could maybe do that. So I got into it through Nottingham Touch Club 3 or 4 years ago, following my wife and both my daughters into it. After they'd been to a taster session there, they encouraged me to join them and enjoy playing touch.
I love playing touch because it's a game where you can play 14-year-olds and 60-year-olds together. You can play men and women, so you could have a daughter and a mum playing together, and it's a really good fun to play.
Officials, 30 seconds. Players and officials, stand by.
So welcome back to Nottingham, the Riverside Sports Complex 2019 Touch Nationals Seniors and Masters. We move on to our second game of the day, which sees the South East Sharks men's 35s take on the South West Saxons men's 40s. And joining myself, Bradley Hope, with me for this one is Greg Cropper. Greg, a very good morning. How are you doing? How was the first day here, and looking forward to day two?
Yes, morning, Brad. Yeah, very good day yesterday. Sun was out. Everyone was in fine spirits. So yeah, good quality on the field as well, which is good. So yeah, everyone's looking forward to day two and playing some finals later on.
Absolutely, yeah. We will bring you all those finals in the afternoon. So do stay with us for the duration of the day, as the Sharks looking to try and get off to the perfect start. Try to whip it out to that far side, but stifled out, and now a chance for the Saxons to try and drive up towards halfway. Saxons then trying to get off to the perfect start, but just fumbled. So both of these sides in the men's 35s and 40s. So in the men's 35s, you've got Midlands Tigers, South East Sharks, West Wildcats and the South East Taipans. And then the men's 40s, South East Taipans and South West Saxons. Only 2 sides in the 40s then in the group. So a bit of an age difference, of course, between these 2 sides. But sometimes it doesn't prove much of a factor, using all the experience, I guess, Greg?
No, not at all. And funnily enough, there are a couple of younger players in the men's 40s for the South West Saxons. Ollie Sills, mixed 30s player. He's only 36, so he's playing in this one as well today. But yeah, it's a star-studded team on both sides. Mike Moore there, another international. Matt Mahoney taking it up. It'll be a good tussle with this game.
Yeah, it should be a really good battle between these 2 sides. The ball's flinged out to the wing. Good enough take in the end.
Isaac Fong there. Ollie Sills on the ball. That's 6, that's turnover. Let's see what the Sharks have got in reply.
At the moment, do remain scoreless. Both sides just getting up towards the 5 metre and then either running out of touches or just running out of space, as we've seen previously from the last Sharks attack. Looking to show left, but opts to go right, and still driving some space to run into, actually, for the Sharks as they're driving on forward, putting the pressure on. But good closing down from the Saxons at the moment, staying pretty compact.
Yeah, very good defence there by Ollie Sills. Eric Williams taking the ball on now. Just fumbled it, couldn't stick that one. So Saxons drive into their box now. Bruce Kirby there. Sills down the middle. Just building some momentum. Martin Wright now back on the field. 5th is coming, so I expect the scoop to come here.
There he goes. Can they get the first score? They breaks away from his man, but the touch comes in. And this time around, the Sharks defend this one. And they'll get the chance to try and get up to the other end of the field. But look at this early pressure from the Saxons, trying to stop them from getting as far as they can. But the good driving all the way up towards the halfway line. Here is Eric Williams.
Just taking a tumble back into the subs box there.
That's one way to go back into the subs box in style.
There is a penalty for that coming though. There was 2 in a row though. It looked like they just got away with the Eric Williams one, and then it happened again. So ref was taking no more chances with that bubbling over. So Conway, Humphreys round the back. Ops to the other way. Durrani, Humphreys.
Just slowing things down a tad. Here is that man Justin Conway, and look at going around the back of him was Hunter.
Penalty for offside there.
Hunter now. Humphreys and Hunter in the middle. Hunter, those yellow boots on. Here is Durrani as well. Always seems to be involved, is Durrani. Always looks to trying to be the instigator. Applies his trade at Galaxy London. Durrani flinging the ball out to the left-hand side. Really good covering defence from the Saxons at the moment. It's the defences are just shutting out every attack at the moment.
Yeah, it's good at the moment. They've both sides, first game of the day, 6 minutes in, so still plenty of time to get some scores on the board, which I'm sure will come. Just an over the mark there. Unforced error there from the Saxons. giving the Sharks an opportunity to get up on their line again. Here comes John Irwin. Zernell picking up.
Still applying the pressure, coming round the right-hand side, back into the centre.
Just a hard touch there. Ollie Sills on Dale Bright. So another 6 on their line to see what they've got. What have the Sharks got in their locker here to get the first touch down on the board?
Mason Logan there now for the Sharks. He lays it off, the dive comes in.
Good touch there. Alistair Barnes. Again, another offside penalty.
Patient build-up from the Sharks. They've had a lot of possession the last couple of minutes, but the Saxons really soaking it up well and almost driving them back at the same time, but the Sharks looking to try and penetrate through that defence. Biding their time, still applying the pressure. But again, defence from the Saxons, almost hunting in packs, aren't they, at the moment?
Very much so. I think the Sharks are just not spreading them wide enough. All of the game seems to be in tiny pockets of the field rather than spreading it wider. Always short passes and running into traffic at the moment.
Nell trying to get the ball out towards that far side, and the turnover now. So for all that possession, it's come to nothing for the Sharks, and the Saxons now, it feels like the first time in a long time, a chance to really try and drive out of their own half after defending well. Just needs a space to run into. They find that space.
A lot of confusion and traffic in the middle though, weren't there? Bruce Kirby, Martin Wright picking up.
Oh, and a fumble, and it feels the difference actually between the two sides in attacking. There's Saxons really trying to go quick and drive hard, but the mistakes are coming at the crucial times, whereas the Sharks just being a bit more patient but can't really penetrate through at the moment.
No, you're absolutely right there, Brad. I think the Saxons are much more of a driving transitional team, aren't they? They're happy to keep a good roll on all of the way through, whereas Sharks are happy that they get up there, stop and run something a bit more static. Different styles of play, but neither of them working for the teams at the moment.
Saxons though with a chance. Oh no.
Unforced error.
You can see, can he almost just he slumped over and just realised that he'd made the error. Just as actually the Saxons had been gifted a really good opportunity inside the Sharks half, and now this is a bit different, driving at pace, but again slowed right down. Eric Williams here in the middle. Prize also his trade at Galaxy London. He comes around to the left-hand side, flicked it out. That's a lot better from the Sharks, and there we go.
You can see the pre-touch there by Isaac Fong, just all back to front. He does a bit of a pirouette like a ballerina in the middle. Watch him here in the blue cap, turns the wrong way, can't spin back around. Winger's stuck between a rock and a hard place there, and they just dot down in the corner. One on the board for the Sharks.
Stuart Block gets the first try of the game, and again the Saxons just like a composure every time they get into towards the Sharks half and try and attack. It's just gifting the ball back for the South East Sharks to try and get up the other end.
There's a lot of different styles even within each team. You look at the likes of Tom Humphries for the Sharks. He's always running hard, same as Ollie Sills on the Saxons team. Always running hard, finding spaces. a lot of the other, quite a few of the other players happily static, slow play. It's definitely not rolled square there, Justin Conway. He's looking for something else, but pretty sure he just fell over.
Yeah, one of the more easier decisions for the referee this morning. And actually, speaking of referees, I was speaking to Chris for the Chris Wehrman for the first game, and he was saying how impressed he's seen to see so many young referees this weekend.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's happened this weekend is the fact that we had the Opens and Juniors Nationals a few weeks ago, and now they're all free this weekend to hopefully turn up here. That's a great score.
It certainly is. What a fantastic pass and take and dive, the combination. Oh, the Saxons.
Took him one way, just too long. Winger stuck in no man's land.
So much space for that Saxons winger just to go over the line. One apiece then. And the first time the Saxons really showed what they were made of in the attacking third of the half. Sharks looking to try and respond straight away. This is good from the Sharks again, showing a bit more pace actually on the drive up into towards the 5 metre line. Just trying to do something a bit clever.
Sills injecting some pace on it. Fong driving up the middle.
Saxons still, patient build-up, getting towards the goal line, but sick touch comes in, so no Scottish time around. Some fresh legs on, but having to wrap round, not going with the drive. And just slowing things down a tad, although they picked up the pace. Look at this through the middle, really putting the pressure on the Saxons. Williams. Oh, touch though, turnover. Seen it a couple of times now.
Was that a fumble or is he giving it? Yep, he's giving a fumble there. Mike Moore doesn't seem happy with that, but 50-50 I think that one was.
So just over 5 to go on our clock until half time. One apiece, low scoring then between these two sides, both defences in a case of just shutting each other out and almost just getting the legs going. Williams just laying it off. He just jinked past his man nicely and it was finished off by Matt Allpress, number 6 for the Sharks. Just found himself with space.
In abundance of space there. Rower just missed the shutdown in the middle. Made an attempt with a dive, but just missed him. And space opened up. 2-1 to the Sharks.
Yeah, Saxons now. I'd like to try and respond. Get towards the break, maybe all square. Oh, again, just looking for that pass and just some real frustration. Martin Wright will have a second bite.
No, he's not. It's ball down. And again, it's not something else he'll be happy with, I don't think.
Yeah, Martin Wright not happy.
Conway, Durrani driving it up. Just on the halfway line now. Logan to Irwin. Wayward pass there, losing just a bit of momentum there. This is 5th.
Just sometimes getting themselves a bit almost dog-knotted really when they get towards the attacking
yeah,
line.
I think just a little communication is just a bit lacking, isn't it? People just presuming everybody else knows what they're doing or knows what everyone else is thinking, and it just doesn't seem to be working for them at the moment. So Martin Wright going to instigate something here.
Jason Cunningham was there.
He wants the sweeper to go. The sweeper's gone very early. Martin's going to pick up against the grain, I think. Go long.
To Sex. Around 10-metre mark. A bit better as the subs come on into the move over halfway, but having to slow down a tad now, actually. Here is Williams again. Using his lightning footwork to try and instigate something, and he laid it off to Alex Berger, but he couldn't find a way through. So just over 2 minutes then remain in the Sharks with that slender advantage. Low scoring first half. Another tight 20 minutes we saw in the opening game this morning. There was only the 1 point in it going into the break.
Bruce Kirby's gone early there. Lower. Sharks driving back out of their own half now. They've probably got one more attack in them. That's unfortunate, so the Saxons got a reprieve. See, have they got the right people on the pitch here? Just over a minute to go in this first half. Kirby, Rower, Mahoney. They've got the momentum on their side.
Well, they certainly did, but it's just been halted again, but now trying to find
Oh,
space
they've
again.
made the space. Mike Rower just feeds off to Matt Mahoney. The touchdown is in.
Really nice play from the Southwest Saxons. Look at the spaces. Mahoney comes into your picture. Just carved through the Sharks' defence. 2 apiece then with just under 30 seconds to go until the half-time hooter.
I'll definitely be happy with that score just before the half-time. Does make a bit of a difference mentally just going into that team huddle at the half-time when you know that you've just evened the scores up.
Sharks looking to try and see if they can finish off the half in style. There comes the touch, and there is half-time then between the South East Sharks men's 35s and the men's 40s Southwest Saxons. Nothing to separate the two sides. Both defences shutting out each other, but some good scores as well. But we'll come into the second half all level. We'll be back in a couple of moments' time.
The boys are playing incredibly well. They're better than I've ever seen them play. We haven't used the full extent of our playbook, predominantly due to the weather conditions, but it's a slight shame. But they're doing their basics incredibly well, getting us down the park and getting us into a scoring situation almost every driving set. The thing for me is really the team cohesion. That winning these games, winning gold was never the goal for these boys. My goal for them was to get as many of the age-appropriate lads into the men's open training squad for 2020. And it's just fantastic to watch some of them really click, really start to play to their full potential. And I'm going to work very hard with the men's open coaches to make sure the boys that are of an appropriate age get a shot at the opens level.
It's been tough, but the result is exactly what we wanted. I'm incredibly proud. It was a really good campaign. We've been very blessed with a very good cohesive team that has all worked together incredibly well, but couldn't have done anything without the assistant coaches of Keish and Catherine and Matt managing, and all the background help from the high performance team and Pippa. 13 debutants is probably a record for any junior touch team. I think I lost quite a few of the kids from last year, went up into 18s, managed to hang on to 3. The team just gelled straight away. We got working with lots of teamwork, and they just did brilliantly.
Bronze first year, and then we've had silver last year, and then we've done it. Finally got the gold. So I could not be more proud of such an amazing group and so much youth and talent in that team. We've got 3 14-year-olds winning mixed 18s. It's incredible. Like, the future for England Touch is, it starts here, and it's looking really, really bright.
Business as usual, I must say. I'm quoting Semi Phillips, High Performance, who has just said that, we've been professional throughout the whole tournament. They have so much self-belief, and they absolutely love working for their team and putting on that England jersey.
Couldn't be happier. This has been a sensational weekend for England Touch. 4 gold medals. I think we've never achieved that before at JTC, and we're ecstatic. It shows that our high performance programme is working, and the athletes we're starting to create are fantastic, and we're so proud of them. Absolutely incredible to be unbeaten at championships in every division. So hats off to our coaching team and to the athletes themselves for producing such an outstanding result.
Officials, 30 seconds. That's 30 seconds. Players and officials, stand by.
So off we go then for the second half of our second game of day 2 here in Nottingham. The South East Sharks men's 35s taking on the men's 40s Southwest Saxons. And as you can see in the top left-hand corner of your screen, nothing to separate these two sides as the Sharks look to try and do something about that in the early stages, but already a turnover in favour of the Saxons. And themselves now with their first opportunity to try and drive on, and again speed, as we saw in the first half, was of the essence. Let's see if they can use it a bit more wisely.
Sills here picking up. He's got a good step, got a good long ball. He's a threat. Just caught on the wing there by Jason Cunningham, but the winger from the Sharks team was covered.
Yeah, closed Cunningham down and gave him no room to move on. You can see the fresh faces having to wrap around the attack for the Sharks from the subs box. Always look to try and make the subs movers driving on to really keep the momentum of the transition, but it's sort of been a key thing of this Shark side. We saw in the first 20 that I know we talked about, Greg, that they seem to get up towards the 5 metre and then stop and sort of have a think and what we're going to do.
Very much so.
A bit different in the second, though, in this attack.
Yeah, like I say, I think it depends what pod of people that they've got on. They've got a certain set that are happy to run a strong transition and run all the way through, and then another set that are happy to run those static plays. So here we go now with Saxons driving it up. Martin White back on the field, feeding it back off to Bruce Kirby. Playing a bit of basketball here in the middle. Fifth touch.
Interception though.
But I'm not sure what that call is correct here. I think that's a very odd one.
Well, it's resulted in the Saxons having the possession of the ball midway inside the Sharks' half. So a really good opportunity. See if we can get the first score. It's almost like roles reversed. The Saxons sort of slowing things down.
Yeah.
In this opening couple of minutes of the second half. Again, Sharks really stifling that attack.
I think the Saxons, like you say, run better when they've driven into a move or a set piece as opposed. That's why they're coming back out now another 10-15 metres to then roll into it rather than it being that static play. Martin Wright here running 33 hammer, and he's just walking in, and the touch has been made.
It looked a bit easy then, didn't it? Just to almost just walk through.
He didn't seem to slow down. He was like, oh, no one's touching me here.
Oh, flinged out towards that far side, and again work to do to try and get to the line, and there we go, turnover possession. So I think you're right, Greg, it just seems that the Saxons like to sort of almost build from their own half. It gives them momentum.
Does, yeah, very much so. They're better at that. So here we go again now, just getting over the halfway line of the Sharks. John Irwin driving up, Dale Bright just fumbling the ball there. The run was just a little bit early. Couldn't get it back off the floor. Sills back on the ball, always a threat. Likely to see him feed this back into somebody so he can get it back. Oh, unlucky. Set up his play ready.
Yeah, just composure, maybe just a slight loss of concentration.
Six more to go for the Sharks. 5 minutes into this first half. Williams and Jeff Sue in the middle. See what they can run.
He's linking up. Oh, there we go. The dive in from Oak Williams. And it counts. And it is a third now. Well, this is definitely worth another look on the replay.
That dive is definitely worth another look. He literally jumped into the defender. I'm not sure how he missed him at that point. But yeah, Williams makes it 3-2 to the Sharks.
It was almost unnecessary. He could have almost just sort of, he got so high, he could have touched him with his left foot. It was Eric Williams' dive. It was quite an extraordinary one, but the Sharks, well,
still counts.
It certainly does. Lead by 3 points to 2 then. 5 minutes into this second as the ball's flinged out to Cunningham. Just wasn't there in time. So it just breaks down. Girani deep inside his own half.
Conway, Durrani again. Logan in the middle. Irwin. Nell picks up. Long floating pass there, a bit ambitious, I think. Is he going to go with a forward pass here? Just ball to ground.
Yeah, the ball just seemed to deviate in the wind. Ball was straight away towards the left-hand side. Now they're just having to try and build again.
Rower driving it up. Right, has just dropped that one.
Just looked like he snatched at it then as he crossed the 10-metre mark.
I think he was ready to get a breather on the sideline, and it came out of nowhere, did the pass, I think.
Really good intensity actually to this game in the second half. Both sides really going for it. There's Williams again.
Good touch there by Sills. The instrumental in this game, Will Sills. Fresh legs. He's only here this morning, so he wasn't here yesterday. So he hasn't got 3 games in his legs like a lot of the other players will have. Here he goes. It's gone long. Oh, it's just over the head there of the winger.
Well, the pass came in and it was one where he had to really take over his overhead height. See the spin on the ball, just couldn't grab it. Girani as the new subs come on, get towards the halfway mark.
Humphreys.
Lovely take, and look at the yards made up, looking to fling the ball out left. So there's yellow boots, I think, just give him an extra spring in his step.
Go faster boots.
Yeah, Alex Hunter for the Sharks. Almost like a blur in those yellow boots as the comes driving forward. Here's Hunter again.
Losing a bit of composure, momentum there. Going back back to the 10 metre. Be back at halfway if they carry on here. Humphreys sweeps round. Conway sweeping the other way.
Just tried to weave his way through Justin Conway for the Sharks. Stopped in his tracks though. Girani. Humphreys and Girani linking up there in the middle. He gets it, scoops it up, looks to fling it out left. Space opening up. Touch comes in.
Try saving touch there from Jonathan Harding on the wing. Sills driving it up. Kirby, some good yards there. Some great yards.
Driven his team up the other end.
He's just lost that momentum on the last. That was unfortunate. That was some great driving up through the middle of the field.
Yeah, really good momentum on that drive, but just stops in the tracks.
Into the last quarter of this game now, 10 minutes to go. Sharks 3-2 to the good.
Oh, good take. It was quite low down and coming onto it with pace as well. But Sharks really have the edge and momentum now, bundled to the floor, but still going over the 10 metre. Players to his right, opts to go left, intercepted. Space just looked like it was opening up on the right-hand side, but opted to go the other way. Oh, a lovely breakaway
Sills
through.
again, gone long. He's just got that turn of pace and a long ball off the left and the right. He's definitely a threat. It's just unlucky it's not come off at this time, but I think it will do. It's come off a couple of times already in this game. Sharks just over the 10 metre line. Williams. Sills has got him covered. Oh, just a nice switch at the end there.
Eric Williams involved again. High fives all around.
Just overcommitted did Sills there at the end, unfortunately. But a great score by the Sharks.
And for the first time in this game, we've just seeing a bit of a gap opening up, so the Southwest Saxons looking to try and respond straight away, and they have as well.
And that man Martin Wright making all the difference there. Set up the play in the middle. Calling there's going to be a runner. Faked the ML, got the ball back, went long early doors. And the winger in acres of space. Just what they needed there. Need that reply straight away from the Sharks' score.
Absolutely.
We've got a game on our hands, Brad.
We certainly do. And different to the first game we saw today, in the second it's been equally as nip and tuck as the first 20 minutes. And here come the Sharks again.
It's down. It's been given. 5-3.
Well, just a flurry of tries in the last minute or so. And the Sharks respond really well again.
They seem to be getting into the flow a little bit better now, don't they? The communication's just been building between the players. Well, for the first 10 minutes it was 0-0, and now in the last couple we've had about 3.
Well, it just feels like the Sharks have got to the 5 metre with that momentum, haven't they?
Yeah.
Instead of sort of stop and starting.
Very much so. Just an unforced error there by the Saxons. Won't be happy with that. They'd have liked to have replied straight away. So they're in defence now. Lower with a big touch in the middle on teammate Williams.
Nick Williams again, just organising his troops. Are they going to try and break away now? Or fling that to the left, but it's intercepted. Good yards made up.
He's gone over the mark on his first touch. It's a coach's nightmare, is that?
Yeah, coach killer.
It is.
It really, really is.
Just defended it all out on your line. You've done the right thing. You've caught it. You've made 5 yards and then over the mark. Could have just got another full set of defence on your line now. And the Sharks, they've already shown they were a threat when they're down there.
Williams laying it off, and ball's just
sweeping around. He's giving that one. Williams again. Players are offside, so he's played through. Good listening by Williams. Just not made the line there as the player.
He's really been the difference between the two sides. Eric Williams in this second half has been involved in all 3 of the tries in this 15 minutes of the second half. Now the Saxons have it all to do now. They've got to start now if they're going to try and get back into this game.
Yeah, they've definitely got to score on this set, haven't they, to stay in the game. But that man Sills is on again. Getting ready to set something up here. He's going to fake that pass, pick up long. Oh, 6 to go, so they'll have another opportunity.
Well, still enough time. Just under 4 minutes to go on our clock. Got to get over the line this time around, though. Fresh set of 6, what can they do with it? To get over the line, dive comes early. Touch comes in though, according to the ref. Sharks really just soaking up this pressure at the moment from the Saxons and doing it well so far, although Saxons looking to try and break through. Dive comes through the middle. Again, really good touch. Good defence so far from the Sharks.
So if I know Alice Sills, I'd suggest going to run the same thing again, but this time pick up and go himself.
Oh, the space opening up, is it?
Yep.
Referee confirms it. Well, they desperately needed that one.
And he had it all to do. It wasn't either really set well for him. It was, the platform wasn't a good one. The ball took an edge to get down on the floor. The defender was stood up that attacker there on the final roll ball. So he's had it all to do. Time is ticking though, with only just over 2 minutes to go. With the Sharks in possession, it's all to do for the Saxons.
Well, they first need to try and defend this set from the Sharks. Can they do so successfully? Sharks looking to try to put the game to bed once and for all.
Bit of confusion in the middle there. They're all making he was in the. I think he's going to have to give that as offside.
Well, this is
that was unfortunate. I think the referee had his back turned to that and didn't see what happened. But the Sharks have got another set on their line. So if they know how long's left, they'll be just running this clock down, I think. That man Williams again in the middle. Counties out. Going for another. Good closing off there by the link.
Just trying to shut things out now, the Sharks. They know that, well, if they are aware of the timings, on our clock, a minute to go until the hooter goes, so they are edging closer and closer to victory. So that's just before the line. That eats up a couple of valuable seconds. Williams again involved, as he has been in this second 20 minutes. Just going to walk over the line.
Tanisard dots down in the corner, and that, I think, will be the nail in the coffin of the Saxons.
Yeah, the Sharks have wrapped up victory then. As easy as that, just walked over the line and got the score. And the Sharks have just pulled away really in this final 10 minutes. It was looking like it was going to go right down to the wire at one point, but the Sharks have hold their nerve. Saxons looking to drive through again. Hooter goes, there comes the touch, and there is the full-time whistle, and it is a win for the South East Sharks by 7 points to 4 in what was another really, really good game. Both sides putting in a really good shift, and it was threatening to be a really close game until the end. The Sharks just pulling away.
Just pulled away in the last 5 minutes or so. There's 3 touchdowns in quick succession. Everett Williams involved in the majority of those, either scoring them or setting them up. And yeah, the game just ran away in that kind of period where Saxons either took their foot off the gas or their eye off the game a little bit, and the Sharks definitely took advantage of it.
So a win then for the South East Sharks, and we'll now move on to our next game, which will be the women's 27s. South East Taipans taking on the Northwest Blades.
The boys are playing incredibly well. They're better than I've ever seen them play. We haven't used the full extent of our playbook, predominantly due to the weather conditions, but it's a slight shame. But they're doing their basics incredibly well, getting us down the park and getting us into a scoring situation almost every driving set. The thing for me is really the team cohesion. That winning these games, winning gold was never the goal for these boys. My goal for them was to get as many of the age-appropriate lads into the men's open training squad for 2020, and it's just fantastic to watch some of them really click, really start to play to their full potential. And I'm going to work very hard with the men's open coaches to make sure the boys that are of an appropriate age get a shot at the opens level.
It's been tough, but the result is exactly what we wanted. I'm incredibly proud. It was a really good campaign, and we've been very blessed with a very good cohesive team that has all worked together incredibly well, but couldn't have done anything without the assistant coaches of Keish and Catherine and Matt managing, and all the background help from the high performance team and Pippa. 13 debutants is probably a record for any junior touch team. I think I lost quite a few of the kids from last year, went up into 18s, managed to hang on to 3. The team just gelled straight away. We got working with lots of teamwork, and they just did brilliantly.
Bronze first year, and then we've had silver last year, and then we've done it. We've finally got the gold. So I could not be more proud of such an amazing group and so much youth and talent in that team. We've got 3 14-year-olds winning mixed 18s. It's incredible. Like, the future for England Touch is, it starts here, and it's looking really, really bright.
Business as usual, I must say. I'm quoting Semi Phillips, High Performance, who has just said that, we've been professional throughout the whole tournament. They have so much self-belief, and they absolutely love working for their team and putting on that England jersey.
Couldn't be happier. This has been a sensational weekend for England Touch. 4 gold medals. I think we've never achieved that before at JTC, and we're ecstatic. It shows that our high performance programme is working, and the athletes we're starting to create are fantastic, and we're so proud of them. Absolutely incredible to be unbeaten at championships in every division. So hats off to our coaching team and to the athletes themselves for producing such an outstanding result.
Stand by.
So we're back underway then here in Nottingham, the 2019 Touch National Seniors and Masters here at the Riverside Sports Complex. And for this one, we move on to the women's 27s, the Northwest Blades taking on the Southeast Taipans. And our first look at the women's 27s this morning, and the Northwest Blades. Well, what a start for them this morning.
Already they've scored a try off their first attacking phase, a brilliant start to the game. I'm sure that will settle them down for their first game of the morning. A fantastic start by the Northwest Blades.
Just looks so easy there, Darren, just to go over the line.
That's a very comfortable score in the corner. Well finished try there for the Northwest Blades.
Well, still very early this morning. And both sides maybe just trying to get the legs going, get the blood flowing around the body. And the Southeast Taipans looking to try and respond to that early setback inside the first couple of seconds from the Northwest Blades. Ball flinged out to the left-hand side, just couldn't be picked up. It was Sonia Lamb from the left-hand side.
So you can see here the Northwest players just trying to set something up. They're just doing their drive and play. You can see clearly just trying to move the ball out of their half, set up an attacking opportunity.
Up towards the halfway line mark. Just slowing things a bit down, almost a bit stagnant and going lateral, and it's not...
It wasn't the smoothest of driving plays to begin with, but hopefully as they warm up into the game, maybe they drove too well on that first phase, and starting a little bit deeper in their own half is a bit more challenging for them.
Here come the South East Taipans then, looking to try and get their first on the board this morning. Up and towards the 5 metre mark they come. Ball is flinged out to the left. Sonia Lamb is there.
Yeah, good touch there made by Sean Gilding. You can see the ball going to ground there for the South East Taipans. So Northwest players now trying to launch their own attack deep in their own half. They'll be wanting to make a bit more yardage on this play. They were a bit stagnant, as you were saying, Brad, on the on their opening drive.
Yeah, and building from the back again, as we saw from that second attacking phase, getting up to halfway line. This is where they got unstuck again, and he nearly do it.
Yeah, nearly.
Second time around, but driving towards the 10 metre. This is a bit better from the Blades.
A lot more momentum here now. A little bit slow getting the half in, but there's still an opportunity. Inside ball. They're spreading it just through the hands. And the gap has appeared.
Well, out of nothing from our angle, it looked like there was about 4 players surrounding her, but she obviously saw the light at the end of the tunnel, went through, and there we go. The North West Blades slicing open their Taipans, and they are 2 up now.
Yeah, lovely play, good finish. So you probably want the South East Taipans be itching to score a try, really. They don't want to go too far behind in the opening 5 minutes of the first half. But a bit of ambitious play, the ball going to ground. Might be still a bit of early morning nerves at the moment.
Just looks like a bit of lack of communication. Almost they got to that good position and they weren't too sure what they were going to try and do there.
But maybe conceding 2 tries quite early in the game has possibly startled the initial game plan. Yeah. Ball going to ground, a slight slip there by Beth Redfern. Just losing her footing on the grass this morning.
Yeah, it was relatively chilly early doors this morning, and there was just a light dew on the grass, which makes the ball slippy, doesn't it? It's, we've talked yesterday actually the importance of conditions in touch rugby, and it just plays such a massive part in the game.
And certainly with a lot of players as well playing in sort of moulded studs, which is compulsory. You have to play moulded studs rather than metal studs, but they can be quite slippy. They're not the deepest studs in terms of trainers or boots. Yeah, good drive there.
Really nice, getting the team up the field over halfway now, the Northwest Blades, but again just seem to come really unstuck as soon as they do really well to get to halfway line, and then they're just not too sure, a bit indecisive at times.
It's maybe just committing to the move that you want to play. Maybe there's almost too many options at the moment, because they are starting to make quite good momentum when they go forward.
Getting towards the halfway line now, the South East Taipans doing really well, just being hounded out again.
You can see they are throwing people into that defensive line. They really are trying to shut out the South East Taipans.
That's Faye Cleary just laying it off now,
and she's made it through that little gap. Yeah, well worked play.
It was the Taipans, just what they would have wanted. Back to only a score in it.
And hopefully that will settle them down as well. Really well worked play, good finish in the corner.
This It's been quite a strange opening 6.5 minutes. The North West Blades haven't blown the Taipans away, but they've got their first 2 points and they've been a bit sort of
certainly well within it. Yeah, it's
they?
been a bit stop-start for both teams, but it's shaping up to be a really exciting game if both teams play in this sort of attacking fashion. I know Ellen Lewin, she's quite a playmaker for the North West Blades. She'd be keen to get her hands onto the ball to sort of set up the players and orchestrate the moves. Yeah, good movement there.
Up towards halfway line now for the South East Taipans, and maybe that score will just settle them down, and they've really
good pace.
It's such an asset to have if you can break away from the defenders.
One more play left. Oh, and they've got a fresh set of 6. The interception made by Pamela Tager, but not able to quite make it stick. The ball going to ground, so the Taipans will have a fresh set of 6, about 8 metres away.
Raymond Blythe in the centre now for the Taipans. Just to the left of her, Natalie Grimsey.
Consider trying to set up a backdoor move there. Not quite able to pull it off.
Raymond Blythe gets it back. Marnie Wills is there, the number 12.
They are pressing very hard in defence, the North West Blades, and unfortunately that's just I think they've run out of patience there, the South East Taipans.
Yeah, the Taipans seem to, from the early stages in this game, they seem to be a lot better when they're driving from their own half. When it's in there, starting again from the fresh set of 6, midway inside the Blades half, they're just a bit stagnant. Yeah,
it's just they had a couple of, you could see they were calling moves, but maybe too many options there with almost nothing being chosen after that. Yeah.
North West Blades just been trying to push on over the halfway line. They've come up stuck a few times. The ball is lofted over to the left hand side. Touch comes in and it will be turned over. 6th touch.
Okay, so South East Taipans having to start not quite so deep in their own half, but they'll be wanting to really. But the ball bobbling there when it's placed to the ground, so that's a turnover. That's a repeat set of 6. The North West Blades now starting quite deep into the attacking half.
Let's see if they can utilise this then, the North West Blades. Good initial drive, but still work to do. Approaching the 10-minute mark.
So Julie Walker in at half, playing a little wraparound play, back to Julie, back to Walker. Just pointing where she wants the ball to go. In at half again. Oh, that's a lovely pass. Absolutely lovely pass there. And the all clear given by the referee. That's Sarah Akerson scoring that try. A lot of hard work going in there by Julie Walker though to set that up. She managed to get a little bit of pace. That outside angle, sucking in the link there, and lovely play, lovely try scored.
Yeah, delaying and delaying and delaying that pass.
It's always difficult defensively to know whether you want to commit to that or you're going to allow that person on the inside of you to make that touch, and they kind of got caught in between there, the South East Taipans in defence.
Raymond Blythe again. Here is Wills. Raymond Blythe, those two linking up nicely, looking for the corner. Oh, just died on her as she tried to get to the pass.
Line. They still had a couple of touches there to use, so might have been worth just taking in there. Just trying to work the ball into the middle and try. Oh, but almost too many bodies there in that sort of ruck area, wanting to play half.
Yeah, so there was a lot of traffic, wasn't there, built
up? It's almost like they were kind of almost tripping over each other there. But you can see like Ellen Lewin there just trying to sort of make up for that slight error by going into that touch. I guess when you do maybe spill the ball, you are quite keen to make amends. Good pace again.
Oh, lovely
finish. Oh, just again the faintest of touches.
Yeah, Sonia Lamb just going in for the line. It looked like a fantastic dive. Well, it was a fantastic dive, but equally really good touch to get down low and make sure the score.
Yeah, the winger just managed to scurry back to prevent the try. being conceded. Again, Ellen Lewin there just making a vital touch to win that set of 6. Now the Blades will be starting again just from their 5-metre line. A bit more direct there. Onto touch 3. Yeah, a slight forward pass there, I feel, called by the referee.
So a chance here for the South East Taipans. You said earlier, Darren, about the importance of not letting the game really get away from you. This is an important moment for the Taipans. They want to try and keep in touch with that score.
Yeah, certainly. They've come back into the game. They're playing with a lot of pace. I know Raymond Blythe, she's really sort of orchestrating a lot of play and putting a lot of pace onto the ball. So you certainly feel they're well within this game, certainly on the cusp of coming back into it.
Raymond Blythe and Marnie Wills linking up again. Wills going in for the line. 6th touch, so good defence from the Blades.
Now they'll be looking to get fresh legs on. Keeping up pace. Yeah, just playing that 3-man drive, or 3-person drive, just to get out of their own half. A little bit static now. They're running out of touches on the forward pass. That was just good defensive work there by the South East Taipans. They really made it hard for the North West Blades to get out of their own half. So now they'll be starting their set of 6 just behind the halfway line. A bit static there.
It certainly was, but they've worked their way out really nicely. A couple of netball passes to get them out of trouble and driving really nicely through the centre of the field. Yeah,
they've got that composure again. They've got the pace back onto the ball. But just as I say that, they're setting up a play. Looks like they're doing a backdoor move. Just pulling the ball back a little bit here, just to give them space to work with. Well worked, but the touch was made. That's the end of their set of 6. So the Blades will be looking to maybe make a bit more metres this time. They want to make sure if they do get the turnover that it's well within the South East Taipans half.
So just a stop in the flow of the scores. Really good take actually there.
Yeah, that was a good take. They needed to make that one. Oh, but they're asking a lot with these ambitious passes. It just seems like they're losing their way a little bit, but maybe the defence. The defence of the South East Taipans is really just sort of stepped up over this last 5 minutes. They really are putting a lot of pressure, making it really hard for the North West Blades to exit out of their own half.
And the Taipans really important now. 5 minutes to go until the break. We've just had a stop in the spell of scores, but Raymond Blythe looking to head for the line.
Yeah, good pace. Needs that pass.
Sonia Lamb was there in support, did really well to try and find some space, but equally really good covering defence from the Blades.
Yeah, good energy there. She's lots of momentum, taking the team forward. Just needed the pass, but wasn't able to quite find it.
Good early pressure from the South East Taipans, trying to get up an atom in the Taipans half. Now the Blades.
Oh, but the ball going to ground and Winger not able to quite catch that pass.
Frustration for the Northwest Blades.
Again, it seems to be around sort of touch 5. They're trying to sort of make that ambitious pass, but not quite able to make it stick. So they might want to sort of talk about that when they get into half-time.
Taipans driving really well, but again, they just seem to always come unstuck in the final couple of metres. Can they make this one count? Touch comes in.
Yeah, Ellen Lewin there just on standby to make that touch.
Just taking the time now, the South East Taipans, although try and get off the mark
That
quickly.
last minute offload. Oh, the gap. Oh, that was a very brave touch there by Jennifer Jones. She was able to sort of narrow that gap, close that touchdown.
It's very clear for the South East Taipans trying to go over the line again, but with the Northwest Blades, they've been frustrating going forward, but defensively looked really, really solid and communicated well.
Yeah, this is a better drive. Yeah, much better drive now by the Northwest Blades. They've made it out of their own half in 3 touches. They've got 2 to play with here now. Let's see if they can set off an attack. Maybe a scoop here.
Oh, wonderful
one
take.
More pass. No, okay, ball to ground. But they've finished their set of 6 from 5 metres away from the try line. So the South East Taipans are going to have to work hard now to exit their own half. Looking to get fresh legs on. Oh, that's ball to ground there.
It'll be interesting to see how the Northwest Blades approach this one. They've started to drive well in the last couple of minutes. Let's see if they can really make that momentum count. Over the 10-metre mark they come.
They'll be certainly looking for that try before half-time. And Pamela Tager on the ball. Acting at half. Final couple of plays. Oh, interception off the Tager pass. A long way to make. Tager's chasing back. Oh, good touch there. She needed to make that one.
Well, and after a brilliant run from Sonia Lamb, it's just slowed down. And here's Marnie Wills, and it's just given the chance for the Northwest Blades to just set themselves again.
They've still got a bit of momentum though, the Taipans. I'm sure they'll be, all you can see, Rose is just there. A little bit of a dance step.
Sonia
outside
Lamb.
the winger. Oh, final play.
Well, thrilling end to this first 20 minutes. Here's Raymond Blythe. Marnie Wills was there waiting. Raymond Blythe looking to try and go out the outside.
Yeah, again, Raymond Blythe just trying to get around the outside, but not able to on this occasion.
So into the final minute then, and the Northwest Blades will be...
They'll be wanting to give themselves at least one opportunity to score before the buzzer goes. Touch free. Touch 4.
Oh, they're going to make it count.
Lewin on the ball. Oh! A knife through butter.
But a touch.
But a touch again. The faintest of touches, but they all do count.
Well, how important that touch could be from the South East Taipans as the hooter goes, and that will be that for the first 20 minutes. What a fantastic 20 minutes we've had. It's been end-to-end stuff, both sides giving it absolutely everything, and it is the Northwest Blades who currently lead going into the break by 3 points to 1. You don't want to miss the second 20. We'll see you in a couple of moments.
The boys are playing incredibly well. They're better than I've ever seen them play. We haven't used the full extent of our playbook, predominantly due to the weather conditions, but it's a slight shame. But they're doing their basics incredibly well, getting us down the park and getting us into a scoring situation almost every driving set. The thing for me is really the team cohesion. That winning these games, winning gold was never the goal for these boys. My goal for them was to get as many of the age-appropriate lads into the men's open training squad for 2020. And it's just fantastic to watch some of them really click, really start to play to their full potential. And I'm going to work very hard with the men's open coaches to make sure the boys that are of an appropriate age get a shot at the open table.
It's been tough, but the result is exactly what we wanted. I'm incredibly proud. It was a really good campaign. We've been very blessed with a very good cohesive team that has all worked together incredibly well, but couldn't have done anything without the assistant coaches of Keish and Catherine and Matt managing, and all the background help from the high performance team and Pippa. 13 debutants is probably a record for any junior touch team. I think I lost quite a few of the kids from last year, went up into 18s, managed to hang on to 3. The team just gelled straight away. We got working with lots of teamwork, and they just did brilliantly.
Bronze first year, and then we've had silver last year, and then we've done it. Finally got the gold. So I could not be more proud of such an amazing group, and so much youth and talent in that team. We've got 3 14-year-olds winning mixed 18s. It's incredible. Like, the future for England Touch is, it starts here, and it's looking really, really bright.
Business as usual, I must say. I'm quoting Semi Phillips, High Performance, who has just said that, we've been professional throughout the whole tournament. They have so much self-belief, and they absolutely love working for their team and putting on that England jersey.
Couldn't be happier. This has been a sensational weekend for England Touch. 4 gold medals. I think we've never achieved that before at JTC, and we're ecstatic. It shows that our high performance programme is working, and the athletes we're starting to create are fantastic, and we're so proud of them. Absolutely incredible to be unbeaten at championships in every division. So hats off to our coaching team and to the athletes themselves for producing such an outstanding result.
So less than a minute to the next stand-off. Nice start making your way to the pitches, get yourself ready to play. We call the 30-second warning shortly. Players and officials 30 seconds. Players and officials 30 seconds. Players and officials, stand by.
So back underway then here in Nottingham. The 2019 Touch Nationals Seniors and Masters here at the Riverside Sports Complex. And it's the Northwest Blades who at the break went in at 3 points to 1.
Yeah, both teams will be feeling like this is a very winnable game, with the Northwest Blades 3-1 ahead at the moment, but South East Taipans were showing really some good form in the periods of that game, so in the periods of the first half, so it'll be interesting to see who scores the first try of the second half.
Yeah, the Northwest Blades had a really interesting first 20 minutes. They got those first 2 scores and it felt like a couple of minutes, and then just sort of stagnated. They couldn't really get going after that. It was quite strange first half.
Yeah, and then the South East Taipans seemed to sort of come back within the game, but not quite able to put away some of the chances. But it does feel like they had a lot of chances within the first half. A slight overstep there, so the ball going back to the Northwest Blades.
Well, the first try in this second 20 could be really crucial.
Yeah, it's going to be important for both teams, just to build on the momentum.
The difference, quite obviously, between a 4-1 and a 3-2 scoreline, of course.
So you can see Pamela Tager just trying to get the troops into position. A turnover there. They kind of may have just mistimed the number of touches they had remaining. Good pace there as they drive towards the wing to get fresh players on the South East Taipans. Slight overstep there, just maybe needs to adjust the technique, slow yourself down into touch. But they're trying to give themselves an attacking platform here.
Raymond Blythe for Marnie Wills is there to the left-hand side. Samantha Bell, who currently plies her trade at CSSC London Eagles to some.
And
Here is
Blythe
Raymond
through
Blythe.
the gap.
And there is Samantha Bell to finish it off. Is it going to be given?
Now we've seen that a few times in this tournament with the lines on the pitch being quite faint. There's that sometimes that tendency to run through the try line. So you've got to be aware of placing the ball down correctly within the permitted area. And I think she just overstepped very narrowly, overran the try scoring area. And will that cost them later on in the game? Oh, good gap, good gap.
Yeah, just sort of saw
just
that
opened up.
gap, and it just wanted to try and get through, but there we go, sixth touch, and that was it seemed like a confusing and just sort of ran into each other, a bit of traffic building up. Didn't really get as far as they'd have liked, of course.
It's almost like a basketball style play. They were just sort of throwing it around to each other. Too many options maybe. But good pace again by the Taipans.
Very Cleary now.
And the ball going to ground there, so the Northwest Blades will regain control of the ball.
Just feels like both sides almost know the importance of the next score and how crucial it could be in deciding where the victory will go. Northwest Blades just getting a bit dog-knotted inside their own half, but a really good drive to get the team up the field.
It might be a case of some of their more experienced players just reminding everybody just to play their structures, play their patterns, because some of their drives have been a little bit untidy at the moment, but again they've got good control of the ball there, and that's Pamela Tager. They just want to give themselves a bit more opportunity to sort of play their plays deeper in the opposition's half. They're kind of running out of touches because they're having to work so hard to get out of their half.
Raymond Blythe, Marnie Wills. Blythe and Wills seem to be linking up a lot in the first, and they're doing so again in the second half.
She's having a scoop again, Blythe.
Finds her way through, needs the support. Can she find it? Oh, and it just runs loose. So we still are searching for this first score of the second 20 minutes.
But when she scoops on that play around 5 or 6, she looked very dangerous. I think they've got to set her up for that scoop. She is knocking at the door of that opportunity, and it will come eventually. So the Blades again, they probably just want to concentrate a bit more and just going forward, get the momentum by just driving hard forward. Oh, forward pass there, but not given. They've got away with that one. Good pace there, good acceleration.
Well, if the Northwest Blades had gone on to have scored that would have been some controversy.
It may have been a moment of controversy. Oh, would have given that one.
As it stands, it didn't come to anything, and the Taipans now, it's just almost a matter of who's going to strike first in the second half.
That next try really is important. You can see maybe whoever scores that next try will probably go on to win this game. We'll have a good say about it anyway.
Pressure building now on this Blades defence. Has been for the last couple of minutes, but again, just that lack of composure, the concentration just on the 5 metre just goes a begging the chance.
It is difficult for the South East Taipans because they're at a stage where they do want to score that next try. Maybe they're just sort of trying a little bit too hard to score that next try.
But look at the pressure put on the Blades.
Yeah, they're going sideways a bit. They really are working hard in defence to not give them an opportunity. You can see the runners are shooting up. And again, it's the turnover. They're pressing incredibly hard, almost playing like a shoot defence there.
Yeah, it was fifth touch before they even got to the halfway line.
Exactly, and they're not getting very many plays to do much when they do get across the halfway line. And it is coming back at them quite rapidly as well.
The intensity in the last couple of minutes has been frightening from both sides. They're really giving it their absolute all. Raymond Blythe laying it off to a teammate, looking to try and fling out to that left-hand side to find Samantha Bell, but again, it just falls short.
Again, it's just around that sort of 5 metres away, that fourth or fifth pass or touch. They're not quite sure what to do at the moment. They're flinging that pass, but it's going to ground.
Well, pressure again from the South East Taipans, really almost just not even letting the Northwest Blades
That's a good run by
halfway.
Walker. Good run by Walker just to straighten things up, put 10 metres on the ball. But that's a half there.
It's the first time we've really seen the Northwest Blades attack in this second half for a while.
Yeah, it was a good attack there in that position, but again, they're working so hard to get fresh legs on. They're kind of running out of touches. They might just want to, they'll have to do it on the fly, but just work on this sub-in play they're trying to do. Just maybe try and be a bit more fluent on it.
Going for the line, laid off pass, but good pressure from the
Final
Blades.
play.
You can almost see a sense of urgency in the players. Looking
Yeah, very urgent. That's the all clear given. All clear given by the referee. Yeah, they're certainly playing with a sense of urgency. Little inside ball, then finding the winger in the corner, and a very comfortable try scored by Liam Maxey there.
Well, we've talked about the importance, Darren, of that first score. It's the Taipans who have got it, only 1 point in it. This is going to be a fascinating final 11 minutes.
Yeah, it's who wants it the most now at the moment.
Well, from the Northwest Blades point of view, they haven't really actually attacked the Taipans line for, it feels like, forever.
They've found it difficult getting out of their own half in this second half, but that's based on the South East Taipans, the pressure they've been putting on them. They really have been playing this sort of rush defence. They've really been really going in for these touches, making it as difficult as they can for the Northwest Blades to get out. But they've got a fresh set of 6 here, plenty of touches to play with.
Let's see if they can do anything of this. We often get, when there's been spells of lack of tries, we get a flurry of them in a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
Let's
you
see
can
if
see Tager's trying to set something up there. She's just taken a touch. Just trying to get the playmakers onto the ball at the moment. That's Samantha Kierman on the ball. Will she have a little scoop? No, she's giving it to Pamela. Oh, the line was at her mercy there, but she wasn't quite able to collect the ball there. It was a difficult pass. It's thrown quite low, but the ball going to ground.
It really was fizzed at her low, wasn't it? It was
quite, but a good break here.
Raymond Blythe all the way from inside her own half. Is she going to be caught though?
It's like she's taking a pragmatic approach, taking a touch. They're on touch 2, plenty to play with. Oh.
And after all that, the effort from Raymond Blythe to get up the other end of the field, and it just giving it away.
Yeah, unfortunately, the winger wasn't quite ready for that pass. Hadn't quite got into position to accept the return ball. There's Pamela Tager on the ball again. Good meters made. Again, they're working really hard to get out of their half, the Northwest Blades. Oh, but ball going to ground.
Well, this has been a frantic minute or so, and now the Taipans are what they're going to do. They're just going to settle down, wait for the new subs to come on. Raymond Blythe just receives the touch.
Yeah, I think at the moment they just slow down the play there, just to allow new players to get on, just to get the fresh legs and sometimes just fresh ideas as well.
Faye Cleary now. She has it again. Like visor on.
Faintest of touches there made by the Northwest Blades. Yeah, fresh set of 6. The interception attempt made. Unfortunately, not able to make it stick there. That's Noleg Quillen on the ball, going for that interception. Yeah, it looks like a little deviation foul. And players not retreating back correctly. Opportunity here.
Isn't given, touch just comes in, but they're really putting the pressure on. It's all really been the Taipans in this second 12 minutes or so, second half.
And it's difficult now. It's repeat sets of 6. Guts emerging. Ball collected. Try given.
Unbelievable. And Maxime Lam gets the Taipans back all square. They've really tried hard in this second half. It's taken them some time. They've finally done it. It's 3 apiece with 8 minutes remaining.
That's the pressure of the repeat sets of 6 as well. There was a lot of work done on defensively, and when you are working so hard in defence, you will have tired legs, and maybe gaps will appear.
Well, we said the first score in this second half might be crucial. It might even indicate who's going to go on and win this game. We're back to 3-3. Let's see what happens now with the Blades. Real meaningful attack.
Julie there going in for the dive. Julie Walker, but not quite able to reach out far enough. Oh, the narrowest of touches made there. So South East Taipans just driving again to their box, looking to get fresh players on.
Here they come.
You can see them in the background getting ready. They might try and set up a bit of a scoop here.
Marnie Wills getting up towards the 10 metre now. Raymond Blythe. Lovely movement, maybe opening up for Wills. She goes through. Is the turnaround complete? Just having a chat with the referees.
Yeah, the referees have just come on just to have a little conference about that. But it looks like no, it doesn't look like it's been given that try, so they're going to have it must have been the faintest of touches. They might be going back for the penalty there. Yeah, they've gone back for the penalty, player being deviating whenever it's treated 5 metres. So fresh set of 6 to the Taipans. That was the faintest, of course. Some might argue they should have just played that through. That's the faintest, of course.
Here we go then, a Taipan still trying to put all the pressure on.
But 4 touches to play with, so got plenty of opportunities here. Bit slow getting the ball up.
Julie Coulter there, number 17, just in your picture. Is it going to fall to her?
Backdoor move being called, you can see.
Faye Cleary again, going for the line. Is the turnover complete this time? It's not.
See, just a touch was just made.
They're getting closer and closer, just under 5 minutes to go. Are they through again? It looks like they are. The turnover is complete. This time around, 3rd time lucky. It's 4-3 to the Taipans from 3-1 down.
And all the momentum is certainly swinging their way. That's 3 tries in a row. A lot of pace, a lot of energy there, and good patience as well. And again, having to defend those repeat sets of 6, it's difficult. That's another try scored off a repeat set of 6. Very hard to defend.
Well, the Northwest Blades, after being 3-1 up, find themselves down by 1. So time still remaining to claw this back.
Yeah, good 4 minutes left of this game. Maybe one opportunity, if they can carve out one opportunity to level the game. They'll be looking for that.
Space opened up.
Oh, I thought that touch was just made. I thought she may have overshot the place she was trying to touch.
Ball flinged out.
Oh, interception. A good touch there made Lewin needed to make that touch, otherwise that would have been game over.
Important. Raymond Blythe now inside her own half. Here's Marnie Wills. Samantha Bell also is there.
Yeah, good pace there now by the South East Taipans.
Faye Cleary now. Get back to her teammate.
And playing with momentum as well. The gap's opened up.
Alice Tozy!
Well, yeah, the all clear given there. Try.
Let's have another look at this one then. Alice Tozy was there waiting in the wings. A fantastic grab and instantly going over the line. She knew where she was. She knew what she had to do.
You can see Lewin there desperately trying hard to sort of close that gap to make that touch before the pass could be made, but in doing so he's kind of left a gap in the defensive line for the Northwest Blades. And that's now 4 tries in a row.
Yeah, without reply from the Northwest Blades, and well, from being 3-1 up, they find themselves 2 down now. This is going to be a lot of work now to get back into this one after some really good stuff in the first. Looking to try and spread the ball out wide. Space potentially just opening up between them, but the touch comes in, and I think the Taipans now will just try and use all their experience and know-how just to run the clock down.
I know we've talked about this before, Brad, in terms of game management. It will be a little bit of game management here just to see out this 2 minutes. They'll be wanting to really just sort of make sure that if they do lose possession of the ball, it's deep in their own half. But as I say that, the commentator's curse kicks in, the ball goes to ground. You feel now the Northwest Blades need to score.
Well, now or never for the Blades if they're somehow going to get this back towards square. Brilliant from the Taipans again. Defensively worked hard as well.
They'll be looking to sort of get some Samantha Keeman on the ball, or that's gone to Pamela there. Keeman on the ball, working with Pamela. Touch made, acrobatic dive. Again, a foul there in terms of not retreating, so the Northwest Blades get a fresh set of 6. Both teams have been caught out with not retreating during this game.
Seconds are ticking down though, need to get it over the line now. Touch comes in according to the referee into the final minute then of what's been a really good game.
Really good game, yeah, very end to end. It's been a game of momentum as well. It seems if you've scored a couple of tries in a row, you've gone on to score more. Ball to ground there, that should probably be their last opportunity, and the Taipans now, if they're just sensible with the ball, they should be able to control this game and just play it out of their own half. Now on to touch 3. But again, they're giving them opportunities, but I think the clock isn't the friend to the Northwest Blades at the moment.
Seconds away then from the hooter. There it goes. So the Taipans have the win in the bag. Just need to finalise it now. The Blades looking to try and work something.
They're just keeping the ball alive, but the ball's gone to ground, and that concludes the game.
Well, what a fantastic game, and it is the South East Taipans who came from 3-1 down to win this 5-3 in the end. A brilliant game between 2 sides who gave it absolutely everything. Well, that brings an end to all our pool action over the course of this weekend. And we're now going to move into the semi-finals. It's the business end of the competition, and it will be from the men's 30s as the Midlands Tigers take on the Northwest Blades. That'll be coming up next.
got into touch because my eldest son, Clark Hobson, he was really into it, raved about it, and he achieved England standard. I thought, well, I could maybe do that. So I got into it through Nottingham Touch Club 3 or 4 years ago, following my wife and both my daughters into it. After they'd been to a taster session there, they encouraged me to join them and enjoy playing touch.
I love playing touch because it's a game where you can play 14-year-olds and 60-year-olds together. You can play men and women, so you could have a daughter and a mum playing together, and it's a really good fun to play.
Warning, players and officials, this is your 1 minute warning. Players and officials, 30 seconds, players and officials. This is your 30-second warning. Please take to the pitch, ready to play. Players and officials, stand by.
So here we go then, we move on to the semi-finals, our first semi-final live for you this weekend from Nottingham, the Riverside Sports Complex. 2019 Touch Nationals, Seniors and Masters, and it comes from the men's 30s. It's the Midlands Tigers taking on the Northwest Blades. And here we go, what a start. You're joined by myself, Brad Hope, and Steve Cleary for this one. What a start for your side, Steve.
Yeah, we started with a roar there. Just passes it out to the wing. The wing is out of position, that's a score for Rob Budd.
Well, a brilliant start for the Midlands Tigers. And they'll look to try and see if they can build on that early start. Let's see what the Northwest Blades, they've not even had the chance to breathe and they're already one down inside the opening minute. Let's see what they can do from this. Here's Greg Cropper trying to come forward again. Space maybe opening up on the left-hand side, just stopped in his tracks.
See what they're going to try and cut into the defence here, the Blades. Oh, Greg's picked up. That was always defendable there.
So just trying to break through this Tigers defence that this time stops them from getting any further.
That's a good D set there from the halfway line. Now they've just got to execute their driving strategy. Get out of their half. Get some new players on and go for one attack.
So coming up towards the halfway line mark now. Over half 10-metre mark they come. Nice flow to this move, just late on the ball though.
Yeah, sorry, this is fifth, so they're going to have to do something staggering. They're not. They're just going to kill it in the corner and reset for the defence. They just mistimed that. They should have had a go at that on 5th.
So the Blades just get the turnover and chance for them to sort of build from deep inside their own half. Here they come over the 10 metre towards halfway. Greg Cropper doing really well to drive forward towards halfway.
Yeah, went for the good first dummy. I don't think anyone was buying the second one, but that's got them some go forward.
Ball played over towards his near side to Daniel Taylor, but he stopped in his tracks. Chadwick was there with the pass. At the moment, Midlands Tigers started well and defending and attacking efficiently at the moment.
Yeah, so they've just driven to the box. There's no one in midfield though, so it's pretty easy to defend. They'd prefer to have some outlets there to really stretch the defence. And they're going to be running out of touches. They're going to have to do something here. I think Ben Powell's going to go. Yeah, good scoop. Can he find the pass? He can.
Brilliant stuff from the Midlands Tigers. What a fantastic run that was from Powell. Burst away from the Blades defence, cut through them. And the Tigers into a 2-0 lead. Look at the turn of speed there from Powell. Brilliant stuff.
Good, great support from the link there. Blades not looking so sharp at the moment.
Yeah, the Blades do need to just try and up the ante a bit. They've been caught with 2 strikes from the Tigers. Quite slow at the moment, the Northwest Blades. Greg Cropper looks to try and up the ante a bit, just weaving in and out, slays it off to his teammates.
It's well defended there. They went for the scoop. He showed short side and went long side, but looks like they're trying to set up the same thing again. But that's 5th. They're going to struggle here. Yeah. So just took that extra yard there where he could have come back to the half. You've got to find the half on 5th if you're going to scoop.
Really good pace again from the Midlands Tigers.
It's not a bad drive. They're coming over the halfway line on 4th or 5th. I think this will be 5th, so they'll have one more here. Good hands.
Brilliant movement. That was lightning fast from the Tigers. Razor sharp and going through and carving them up, the Blades at the moment. Midlands Tigers in fine form this morning. And 5 minutes gone, and the Midlands Tigers are roared into a 3-0 lead.
You go, putting some more width on it now, the Blades, as that's what they were lacking in the last couple of attacks. Just get some movement. If you see there, the Tigers just have 2 people up.
Almost just a sense of urgency with the Northwest Blades team. There's still got plenty of time just to get back into this one, so just stay composed and start again, just build it up. The Tigers are relentless this morning at the moment, without fear on the halfway line. Just a little juggle, but they still come.
I suspect they might set up for a scoop here. Number 10 is super quick. Lovely pass. They're going to call that as a forward, I think. They are purring an attack there. They're setting up on the 4th or 5th and then going for a scoop off their drive. That's not bad, and it's working.
The Northwest Blades have just need to find some momentum again. Here come the subs. They're having to wrap round and not flowing with the drive and having to start again. Oh, and fumble, loss of control, so it will be turned over.
Yeah, good opportunity for the Tigers now. You you can't all wrap round. Someone's got to hit in to hold the defence. If you all wrap round, the defence just keep coming up while you're going sideways. So the best you're going to achieve is dumping the ball where you come on. So now they're going to set up.
Towards the 5-metre Tigers.
Short with a loop. Ooh.
Nearly very, very clever from the Tigers, but still that opportunity for them to strike.
So a great opportunity, 6 more on the line. See how much they move them. Out to Richard Jones is always a threat because he's so quick.
Oh, and a simple little layoff and an easy finish for the Tigers.
I think they dummied the dump there and just went man on man, and just like, see that again. Instead of taking the dump there, he's just got outside his link, and then as soon as that other wing bites, that's always in. Great play.
Steve Bright for the Northwest Blades couldn't do anything about it over on that far side. As the Midlands Tigers bounce on a 4-0 lead. Here's Greg Cropper. He'll want to try and rally his troops. Momentum building. Just takes it away from his man. Flings it out left. Space open. And an easy finish for Daniel Taylor. And that's the first one of this semi-final for the Northwest Blades, and that's just what they would have ordered to try and get back into this game.
So they run the short there with the pass out, and then good long ball from Greg.
Really nice hands, good awareness of what was going on around him. And Northwest Blades get one back, but the Tigers will look to try and strike back straight away. Good again from the Midlands Tigers, looking to go left, easy as you like. What a fantastic score from the Midlands Tigers, no problems at all, and they restore that 4-point lead.
Yeah, they've done well to claw one back there.
So just approaching the 10-minute mark then, and the Midlands Tigers in firm control at the moment. Semi-finals, of course, it's do or die. Trying getting into that final later on this afternoon.
Yeah, they're very reliant on this quickie play on the line, which looks like they're going to do again here with the short, quickie and then scoop, but he's gone short side, so he's going to have limited options. Yeah.
Did you see the frustration on Greg Cropper's face as he was trying to find a teammate, just couldn't open it up?
I would look at the frustration on his coach's face when he realised he's scooped and gone short side rather than long side. But yeah, you scoop short, you've only got 2 players to pass to. You scoop long, you've got 3, and the defence should be standing in. So as soon as you go short, it's much easier to defend. Great drive from Fraser Florence there, and then Richard Jones. Ooh. Should have just given that pass.
Yeah, just trying to be maybe a little bit too greedy, trying to go through there. Sold the first dummy, but couldn't sell the second, and turnover deep inside their own half of the Blades. Let's see if they can drive up towards the halfway. Nice momentum, really good charge through the middle.
Putting pressure on themselves by scooping. On the drive, I mean, they've won the penalty because they've run it at pace, but they're putting pressure on themselves on scooping. They've better just to hit it with the runners, but they've got 6 more now, so see whether they can sharpen up their attack.
Again, just can't get through.
They've got a very clear plan. Problem is, it's very much dependent on they're running a one-touch move effectively. They're not stretching the defence. So as you see there, as soon as he went, he was manned up. There's no overlap.
Midlands Tigers again, driving forward. Really nice quick hands, just couldn't pick it up though, number 12.
Just trying to do too much, just drive the ball. If you're in any doubt, run towards the other end as quick as you can and dump the ball.
Stefan Redfern makes the error, and then turnover now. Just got a bit scrappy in the last minute or so. Just needs to settle things down again.
Good solid driving, set themselves up for, what are they on, third or fourth touch? They'll give themselves a chance to attack.
Just losing the concentration on the 5 metre mark. The turnover at the moment, even though the Midlands Tigers leading by that 5 points to 1.
And then we just had a skew dump. That's lethal. You're 5 down, you're trying to get out of your own half, and you skew dump it. You're better to take some of the pace off. Midlands are a bit frenetic as well. They just need to calm down.
Quite frantic start.
Here we go. He's going to scoop. Oh, it's on.
Lovely take and turn, all in one motion. And Midlands Tigers are in motion at the moment. 6 points to 1.
Obviously got it completely wrong. He didn't scoop, he just fed the dumper. He split really well. Great pass, good score.
So again, increasing that lead. They are on course to go into the half-time break with a really commanding lead. What have the Northwest Blades got to say about it? Well, lay off.
Oh, just got him. That was good. There was a lot of fluidity. Got him again. Oh, no, he didn't.
Well, the referee's given it. The Northwest Blades have got one back, and is this their time to try and build on that?
I'm not sure Rob Budd on the wing agrees with that call. But yeah, that was a good score. There's a lot more fluidity in their attack. They just rolled into it and ran the moves on top of each other. That's a lot better than stopping and trying to reset.
Midlands Tigers now looking to try and get back that 5-point lead that they had. Touch comes in.
Offside again there, so they've got 6 more. Let's see what they can do.
Alistair Chadwick with the initial touch. But come again, the Midlands Tigers just giving themselves room to try and pounce on the Blaze defence.
Oh, he's got the wrong way, but yeah, they were running the sweep, but he went the wrong way and he was manned up, but they weren't dropping or they weren't moving forward once they started, so they've got another 6.
Wants to go right this time. Just being closed down, hounded out. Just running into each other at the moment, bit of traffic.
So they've still got touches, but they ran the sweep there. He didn't feed the sweep, but if you're going to scoop, you've got to go through. He sort of went sideways. There's the loop.
Oh, lovely interchange, but it's not going to count. Good work from the Blaze to defend.
They've still got touches. I think this might be 4th or 5th, so they can still do something.
Short to changing passing from the Tigers, just waiting for that moment to pounce. Can they carve through this Blades defence? No, they can't. Daniel Taylor latches onto it.
Yeah, he got onto that one. Yeah, they weren't very wide in attack there. You see Greg Crotter was able to effectively defend both the mids there, which allows his other mid to be sort of slightly in the pocket and snuffs out the attack. So you force those sort of passes that can then be intercepted.
Towards halfway.
Oh, lovely little jump there.
Hop, skip and a jump. As the Northwest Blades really attacking that line, but ball's flinged out towards the wing to no one really. Almost a panic pass. And Daniel Taylor had no chance of getting that one.
Yeah, and that was forward by about 20 metres, so there's a penalty. Just coming to the end of the first half, Tigers will just try and play this out, I suspect, just to have one crack at the line. They'll be looking to not make any mistakes, no errors.
Powell taking his time, just laying it off to his teammate.
They're going to get 6 more as well. I'm not sure they were completely joined up there, so they've got away with that really, because there wasn't much on there. There's 2 or 3 people going for the ball.
We'll try to be a little bit clever getting in for the line.
Okay, so they went for the quickie. I think he said that he wasn't offside, and the attacker then heard him say he wasn't offside, who was already coming back for the dump, who put the ball down. So they're going to call the penalty to Midlands for not making the line.
So can the Midlands Tigers restore that 5-point advantage just before the break? A good opportunity here.
Yeah, setting up for another quickie or a fire up. Yeah. Oh, just go on the outside, Ben. So they set up there for the effectively to fake the quickie to feed the link on the outside. Skew dump though, to let them off the hook.
Certainly has, but again, a turnover almost inside the 5-metre mark.
Yeah, that's lethal.
There goes the hooter. And there is half-time then in this men's 30s semi-final, and it is the Midlands Tigers who are leading here against the Northwest Blades going into half-time. You don't want to miss the second 20. He'll be back in a couple of moments.
The boys are playing incredibly well. They're better than I've ever seen them play. We haven't used the full extent of our playbook, predominantly due to the weather conditions, but it's a slight shame. But they're doing their basics incredibly well, getting us down the park and getting us into a scoring situation almost every driving step. The thing for me is really the team cohesion. That winning these games, winning gold was never the goal for these boys. My goal for them was to get as many of the age-appropriate lads into the men's open training squad for 2020. And it's just fantastic to watch some of them really click, really start to play to their full potential. And I'm going to work very hard with the men's open coaches to make sure the boys that are of an appropriate age get a shot at the opens level.
It's been tough, but the result is exactly what we wanted. I'm incredibly proud. It was a really good campaign. We've been very blessed with a very good cohesive team that has all worked together incredibly well, but couldn't have done anything without the assistant coaches of Keish and Catherine and Matt managing, and all the background help from the high performance team and Pippa. 13 debutants is probably a record for any junior touch team. I think I lost quite a few of the kids from last year, went up into 18s, managed to hang on to 3. The team just gelled straight away. We got working with lots of teamwork, and they just did brilliantly.
Bronze first year, and then we've had silver last year, and then we've done it. We've finally got the gold, so I could not be more proud of such an amazing group and so much youth and talent in that team. We've got 3 14-year-olds winning mixed 18s. It's incredible. Like, the future for England Touch is, it starts here, and it's looking really, really bright.
Business as usual, I must say. I'm quoting Semi Phillips, High Performance, who has just said that, we've been professional throughout the whole tournament. They have so much self-belief, and they absolutely love working for their team and putting on that England jersey.
Couldn't be happier. This has been a sensational weekend for England Touch. 4 gold medals. I think we've never achieved that before at JTC, and we're ecstatic. It shows that our high performance programme is working, and the athletes we're starting to create are fantastic, and we're so proud of them. Absolutely incredible to be unbeaten at championships in every division. So hats off to our coaching team and to the athletes themselves for producing such an outstanding result.
Players and officials, 30-second warning. Please be on your pitches ready to play. Players and officials, stand by.
So here we go then, second half underway, the men's 30 semi-final, Midlands Tigers and Northwest Blades. Important for the Blades to get off to a good start.
I think he got that, but no, they're saying they made the touch. I thought he did well then.
Greg Gropper was just agonising, looking at the referee, almost pleading to the referee.
It's a good low dive. I mean, he doesn't have too far to go, but it was still a good low dive. Oh!
Does this time they get in? It looks like they do they? Yes, they do. What a start to the second 20 for the Northwest Blades. How important that could be in changing the momentum of this game.
That's exactly what they needed. So, quickie, step back, out of position, score.
That's the Chadwick, the number 13 for the Northwest Blades, going over the line this time.
That's difficult to defend against, because if as a defender you step out to the and get onside, then they just need to step back in and score. Even easier. At least there you're forcing them to make that dive on the outside. And there's a mistake from the Tigers. This is exactly what the Blades needed: an immediate score and then a bit of possession.
Yeah, let's see if they can use that score to build some momentum, put pressure on the Midlands Tigers.
Got to find a half there, a bit slow on finding a half, but they've still got touches.
felt a bit caught out after that early score from the Blades. Just a bit loose, really strange combination of play there. Just almost just getting a bit dog-knotted inside the Midlands Tigers half.
No, the issue there, no one wanted to be the half. No one wanted to, everyone was looking to do something rather than just take the ball in, dump, find the half. Rob there, adding real pace to the attack. And the reason he had to slow down there, in fairness to him, is because no one subbed on. So you need to get your subs on quickly, and not all at once. You need to get them on individually and give you the width. Otherwise, the defence just step up. They've got a penalty here, which will help. So this is their main the main four attacking weapons here. This is very much an attacking pod they've got on. Ben Powell.
Well, what a fantastic little dummy, just show and tell, wasn't it, almost? And smiles on the faces, brilliant from Powell. And that lead is restored.
But that's just a short. He's got it there. He's looking out. The defender's looking out as well. And he's gone over the line. It looks really easy, but you have to condition the defence to think you're going to do something, unusual, or you condition the defence. They expect you to pass that, and then before they realise, you just put it down over the line. So it looks like they've turned off, but it's very difficult for the defence because they're expecting that pass. But good return from that attacking pod, which is clearly their sort of strike players in that four.
The Blades have all to do again after an initial really good start to this second half. Greg Cropper trying to go in himself, and he gets it as well. So good response from the Blades.
Yeah, just a quickie there. So he's just quicker. There's Fraser Florence. He's got him up in the touch. He's gone outside him, and then he's actually, he's just gone outside his mid. Cut through them there. So it's definitely a bit more to and fro in the second half. Let's see whether the Tigers can come back.
Still got the chance to put the pressure on the Northwest Blades here. Another important moments though for the Blades, if they can turn this ball over, get up to the other half. Just almost just waiting for that moment, the Tigers to really pounce. Space potentially open up, just can't grab it. You can see it just slip between his fingertips. And the turnover does happen. Blades will just take a breath and now go.
It's not a bad attack, you're finishing on the line. But if the Blades can execute to get out, then we'll have a couple of touches to strike.
The halfway line they come. Lovely running. Good yardage made up. Dan Taylor trying to get past his man. It's touched.
Just overrun it slightly, a bit more forward momentum rather than sideways, but they've got themselves in a position. The scoop from Greg.
Finds the support, but the touch is there. Still the opportunity here for the Northwest Blades. It's
a penalty,
stuff.
So they've got 6 more. I'm not sure what the penalty was for, but they've got 6 more, so if they can move the defence around here, they've got a chance. Going for the short. He's got it.
Well, the Northwest Blades are just fighting back here. And they carved through that Midlands Tigers defence.
So they just set up short there, and then that's just a dive outside his man.
Well, 2 points in it then. What a 6 minutes we've had in the second half. Now we're going to go right down to the wire. Midlands Tigers, the opportunity to try and restore that 3-point lead.
Yeah, well, I've got this attacking team on there.
And it looks like the Tigers have restored that 3-point lead.
It's a great run. Just outside his man there. Good pace and some sort of forward roll celebration.
Well, Midlands Tigers will feel that they're back in control, but let's see if the Blades can respond. They've done well in this second half so far in trying to respond to setbacks. They need to do it all over again.
Short, good pass to the wing. Oh, they'll have 6 more. That was probably a timely interception from the winger.
Yeah, Chadwick just getting that pass out to the left-hand side, but intercepted. Blades still with a chance to put the pressure on. Cropper, Chadwick linking up. Cropper again. Looks to go left. Ball floats over. Referees just want to have a talk. It's going to be given. It is.
They'll be saying backwards out of the hands there for that. That's the quickie they ran last time, but this time with the pass.
And we're back to it. Only 2 points. Well, well, well. What a semi-final we've got on our hands. Both sides giving 100% effort into this one. And we're still no clearer, really, to finding out who's going to take a place in the final of the men's 30s. Space potentially opening up on the left-hand side, intercepted by Taylor.
6 more, that's a let-off. I think Greg might be advising him next time, maybe you don't need to try and catch that. So that gives Midlands Tigers a chance to bring on this pod. As we said before, very much attacking pod, a lot of pace and experience.
Really good interchange, brilliant quick passing between those 3, but can't get through.
That's not bad, that's only the first or second touch, so they've got loads of time to move the defence, which they're doing well. They're setting up something different. Same? No. They're getting the other call there for offside.
First Blades frantically trying to keep them out. How long can they last?
They'll be happy just to keep running these moves at them. Maybe get them pulled for offside again, give them more sets.
Oh, a brilliant take and a great dive.
Oh, we've gone back in time momentarily. So they're just conditioning the defence to one move and hits it well outside his man there on the link. And he's always going to score that, Richard Jones. So
the answer is the Northwest Blades can't keep them out. And again, that 3-point lead is restored. The Blades really need to do something special to try and get back to all square in this semi-final. Space opening up on the left-hand side, can't utilise it.
Yeah, I think they did well to get 6 more then. They were setting up for the scoop, the sweep, and they changed that when he got outside his man and dragged the link in. But you watch Greg there. This is the sweep they were setting up for. Oh, the dump wasn't good enough. No, they've got a penalty. I think, yeah, okay, so that's a hard touch. They're setting up the sweep again. And they come back the other way. Got him. It was a good move.
Ian Bailey trying to get over the line there for the Blades. Patient note from the Northwest side. Let's see if they can do it again. Taylor was there, but it's not going to carry. And Midlands Tigers will have the reprieve.
Yeah, just not enough on that pass. For me, the winger can be wider in that situation. It's an easier catch, but you've got to make that pass.
Oh, just bundling each other over. There's a bit of a smile on the faces.
We're even got a replay. Here goes Fraser Florence. Just about to dump the ball. Oh, gets completely owned. Knocks over Rob Budd. Awesome driving.
Midlands Tigers then trying to get forward. Maybe even trying to see if they can kill the game off. A brilliant dive to the right. It's going to count. It's 10-6.
Lovely step there.
Brilliant movement and individual brilliance.
Yeah, Paul Humphrey there, stepping inside. That's really important. 10-6, 3/4 of the way through. Blades are going to have to do a lot now.
Yeah, it really opens up the game and means the Northwest Blades are going to really have to go for it. So maybe spaces will open up more for the Midlands Tigers. They're going to have to exert a lot more energy, the Blades, now, to fight back to get back into this semi-final. Here's Greg Cropper. He'll be trying his best.
Yeah, 6 more. So that was the other version of the quickie, the shotgun version of the quickie, where he scoops right, the other mid goes left and steps back in, which would have worked, but the defence just got in the way. 6 more though. Oh, easy, yeah. No. Skew dump, I guess. I'm not sure. They're unlucky there. That worked really well. They conditioned the defence. They were really tight, and then they went out. So now we've got the pacey attacking pod on for the Midlands Tigers. Let's see what they can do. A lot of weapons here.
Yeah, they could really take Blades to the sword and trying to finish it off on this near side, but
they're going to get the either the hard touch or the offside. I think that was hard touch. So they'll just set up. This is not going to look too different to the last setup that they did. 2 mids. Ben's going to be running in here on the short and then feed.
Good play again, but it's not going to count. Just really trying to finish off the game, book that place in the final later on today.
Same thing. Is there a variation? Yet there's a scoop, and then it's outside.
And this time it will count. This time it will mean they go to 11-5. 11-6, I should say. Sorry, 5-point lead is the answer to that.
So you've conditioned them that you're going to run the short with the wrapper. Now you run the short and you just scoop this side. It's good play.
Well, this would be one of the miracles of the season if the Blades can turn this around. Need to start now if they're going to. Can't grab hold of it, and the interception.
He's off.
And looking to try and break away straight away, but they were hounded out.
Fraser staying on his feet in the touch there. That's good. Oh, just overrun it. You just need to dump that and you get the momentum. And now the whole defence is back on side. But they won't really mind that because it just takes a bit more time off and they're well in control. Oh, he's through.
Well, there we go, and they're looking to finish off in style.
There you go. He was unhappy about falling over previously, so he decided to go for it. This is just a drive. This is just a drive. There's a big gap. Opens up inside there. Yeah.
And as easy as that, the Midlands Tigers, well, have pretty much sewn up this semi-final.
Yeah.
And will be, or maybe already thinking of the final. Still work to do. Blades will still keep trying to carve out the chances.
Good score.
And Taylor has a third for the day. He's put in a good performance. Daniel Taylor for the Blades. Clinical.
It's a good pass. We were saying earlier, he's now standing much further out. That gives him the option. And he's just cutting. And we'll call that a dive? Yeah, we'll call that a dive.
So just under 3 minutes then remaining.
Another good setup. Very difficult to defend against the running those moves at pace.
Well, the Blades still looking to get to the other end of the field, still attacking. This is good to see. Even though the seconds are ticking down.
Don't forget the ball, Greg. Go forwards. He's advising his team there. Don't need to know sign language for that.
Just a lack of concentration. 2 minutes then remaining. 2 minutes until the Midlands Tigers can confirm their place in the men's 30 final.
See what they're going to set up here.
Well, they're going to try and finish off in style. Wait and see. They've been clinical when they've had to turn it on.
Yeah, they're going to run this short play again with Ben Powell coming in here. Long ball, that's a good, well picked up. That was just another variation of that short. It's not a bad drive from Northwest.
Just waiting for the support to come, getting towards halfway. Entering into the final minute. Really good build up to this play, but it's going to be stopped. Yep, sixth touch. So turnover now for the Midlands Tigers, and if they know the timings, they'll just either finish it off in style, or they can just casually stroll towards the final.
To be honest, as a player, you've got no idea unless you have someone who's timing it for you. You've got no idea. Rob Budd got away with that roll ball. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. Looks like it might be a penalty. Yeah, you've got when you're playing, you've got no idea of the timing unless you've got someone in your box telling you. It always seems like a very long time when I've been on the field anyway. Oh, just unnecessary there. Just take a bit longer to pick the ball up.
There we go, just a couple of seconds away from that hooter. There it is.
He's off, he's going to score. No, he isn't.
And there is the full-time whistle then. And the Midlands Tigers are through to the men's 30 final. A good performance from the Tigers. The Blades fought back valiantly, tried to get back into the game, but it just escaped them in the end. And the Midlands Tigers will play in that men's 30 final later on today. Well, Steve, thank you very much for joining us in the commentary box.
Thank you.
And we'll move on to the men's 40 final, our first final of 6 that will come for you this afternoon and morning. And the first one will be for the men's 40. It'll see the Southeast Taipans take on the Southwest Saxons. That'll be coming up next.